Okay, maybe they'll come back. That's why they got to hit that notification button. That's why I always say. Uh, okay, so let's get into gold. We did the news. We're going to do a top down now. Okay, this is how it's moving on the 5 minutes. So what we're going to do is we're going to get started on the daily and continue going. I hate when this happens because I lose focus, and it sucks, guys. It sucks for you guys, and it sucks for me as well. That's why it's hard streaming and trading at the same time. So doing this shit simultaneously, it does suck. Um, but this is technology. I can't control this. Okay, so let's just get focused here again. XAU USD, we're on the daily. Let's look at the daily time frames, everything. So I'm going to go a little bit faster. We hit our all-time high, 3,500 on gold on this day, April 22nd. When we did hit it, our range low from there, we came down right here, like almost a month later, May 15, and we hit our range low. Okay, so we know the highest point of gold and we know the lowest point of gold currently. And what we're looking at is where it is trading relative to these orange lines. And you can see it's hovering, it's consolidating multiple days this entire week, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and today inside here. So it could continue to get up to that resistance up there, or could scale back down and trade into about point of control 3,330, this big body candle on Friday's NFP. So just looking at our zones, you guys know what I always look at. I'm always looking at looking at this area right here and stretching it into the future. So you can see when we stretch it all the way into the future, we are trading in it this week in this all-time high supply zone, where you can see they pushed it down right there. It came in a second time, pushed it back down. It came in, you can consider this to be the third time it came in here, and they pushed it back down. It came in again a fourth time, and they pushed it back down. We're trading in it this week. Again, I see lower highs, and they could push it right back down. But we could, start to really break through here and close above this again one more time for maybe like a fifth attempt. And notice the days when we're coming in here and they reverse it down. We were talking always about this Tuesday and in a midweek reversal. Over here you have a Friday over the weekend. New week, they bring it back down. Again, a Tuesday coming in, midweek reversal. So we've already had our Tuesday and our Wednesday. So Tuesday it came in here, Wednesday they started to push it down, but it picked up again today, coming right back in there. So, we might not have that reversal, that Tuesday, Wednesday reversal. It could be maybe going into a Friday next week, or buyers could continue to ask up here and start squeezing these sellers and break through here. We could see gold, attempting in the next few weeks to maybe attempt to come back up to that all-time high. Okay, so it is making higher lows, but it's just struggling in this red zone. Why? Because it's a seller's block. There's a lot of sellers in here. There's a lot of offers. Okay, so this is where that battle will begin between the buyers and the sellers here. Thanks for everyone joining back on YouTube. I apologize about that. There's nothing I can do with the technology. So shit like this happens. That's why I always say to you guys, hit the notification button so that if situations like this happen, when we come right back online, you're notified and you can jump right back in. I don't just say this just to say this. I actually, we do have technical issues from time to time, and that's why I tell you guys, always subscribe and hit that notification. Okay, we've got that seller's block up there. This was a little bull flag coming out. I talked about this earlier this week, so I'm not going to go over and waste everyone's time here. This second body candle closed above structure. That's your body, which when you're looking at structure, what is your important candle? This one. That second body is the one that engulfed and closed over everything. So when you're looking up at that point of control, about 50% or your zone there, you can see that most recent pullback traded right into that body of that candle and continued to push up. Now, when we stretch this bull flag where we see it consolidated for multiple days, you trap that volume and move it into the future. You can see when we came down, where did it bounce? Out of that green box back up. Here was a break of structure. I understand the bearish candle closed below. The next day opened bearish, ignited, and dropped. That's where we got that low. The sellers couldn't penetrate through that nice bullish point of control. The buyers were there. They were there pending, and they respected that, and they brought it right back up, and they closed it strong. Then we barcoded bearish, bullish, and then the bulls won out of that situation and continued to push it back up. And you can notice from the lows, higher low, bullish ignited bottom, higher low, higher low. So that is an ascending motion and showing that the depth of market is strengthening from below us. If we continue with this zone and we stretch it into the future, notice we have not came back into this green zone. So the price is diverging away from here. The depth of market is getting stronger, and we just got to break through resistance points in order to continue to move up. Another big point of interest were these two wicks on these candles right here. This is where I start to draw yellow lines. Right here when we dropped on end of the month, May 29, and then again we came back here, end of the month, June 30th. You can see that they're equal bottom lows. This 3,245, I explained what are equal bottom lows, tweezer bottom lows. We have multiple courses and webinars, and we also have blogs on it. So again, I don't want to just keep repeating myself over and over and over. The reason why it's equal lows is because the depth of market was not allowing it to come down into the green zone. They're protecting it. Therefore, they're strengthening it. They're not allowing the new lower low because that can change the entire depth of market above us. So they are pushing it down. As it was coming down, the buyers protected it. And what are the results since then? We've got higher lows, where it pushed for a fourth time back in that big supply zone. And then we had that week where it was bearish, where gold came down, lower lows, lower highs, and came all the way back down. But then you see it made a solid support level where these bodies of these candles are on the daily. Right here, this body closed right there, that one opened right there. Again, this big bearish downtrend that was coming down on these multi-days, where did it stop? Where did it find support? Right around this yellow line, 3,275, 73 area. And we continued to come back up. This was end of the month, July 31st. And then we started to move into new month, August. So far, August is a very bullish month. You can see August 1st. There's over the weekend, there's the 4th, the 5th, 6th, and the 7th. And we're continuing to push up. I can look now, judging at Friday's NFP big body candle. Okay, it was a big engulfing candle, engulfed a lot of this bearish momentum. So let's find our point of control of this big body candle. It is a very important candle. And not only is it NFP candle, but it is a new monthly candle. So if you're a monthly trader and you're focusing on monthly candles and investing, you should be looking at this point of control, this start of the month, because if gold pulls back into here, could be a good opportunity for maybe a possible swing trade. So you see how exactly 50% of that bar is a nice psychological number. Remember, we're trading in an auction, 3,325, those 25-point increments, 25, 50, 75, 100. Again, how do they do basis points with interest rate hikes and decreases? They do them 25 points, 25, 50, 75, or a solid 1 point. So that's how markets move, guys. They're all psychological numbers. Doesn't matter if you're trading currency, if you're trading spot gold, if you're trading Bitcoin, it doesn't matter. They're all psychological numbers. But what we can do is we can identify exactly where 50% is, and then we can get our point of control zone. So the zone is a little bit more larger area, but it gives the 1 Fibonacci ratio above and the 1 Fibonacci ratio below. So now that I get my zone, it's a big bullish volume-based candle. So it's a point of control where it's bullish. So I recognize it with that green box going across into the future. And I see, have we came back into here to retest this point of control? No, we haven't. Why? Because the evidence is left behind on the previous day's candles. You can see it was bearish right here. It came down, it made a higher low. We did not trade into that green zone. Next day again, it came down, made another higher low. The next day again, it came down, higher low. Today, we came down and it's got a higher low. So it is trending up. And we also broke today for a new higher high above all of these wicks. But we're trading now in the point of control of the all-time high supply zone, about 50% of it, and also this big bearish engulfing candle that came down, that started this big multi-day leg coming down. We have to recognize you could either do what I just did with this bullish candle. We could find the point of control of this big bearish candle, or you can just kind of, in this supply zone, you can just look where 50% of it is, okay? This is all personal preference, the way how you want to do it. It's you're still recognizing that there is heavy supply above us. The way how you want to do it, these are the two options real quick, okay? You can grab your Fibonacci tool and do that entire red zone. Again, it will give you the point of control of the red zone. Let's do that today, okay? I did it the other way yesterday by analyzing this candle, but let's do the big red zone. So right there, that's exactly 50% of our big red all-time high supply zone. So if you wonder where did I get this big red zone from, I showed you at the start of this. And look at the psychological, look at the price tag, 3,400, okay, 3,401, very psychological, right at the midpoint. Now you see how I have a little bit of a point of control, give or take a little bit above, a little bit below, right? So it's a red zone within a red zone to show you that how much supply there is above us, okay? And you can stretch it backwards, and then you can also stretch it into the future. How far you go as far as you want to go, and there's static levels. The only thing that's variable is the volume. This is the only thing that's moving. If volume closes above, we flip this point of control, opposite color. We make it green to illustrate that it could turn into a supporting level. If it's still holding, it's still bearish. It could be bringing in more offers and more sellers in the market in order to continue to absorb the buyers and push it down for the next leg. So we traded right into it. Our high of the day is right in there, okay? So when we start to dissect today's daily candle, I'll talk more about that. But do you see now how my chart is situated now on the bigger daily? So I can see we came up there, big multi-day push down, came down, but when it got down here, higher low, we're still holding above this green zone. Big push up start of the month with NFP. We're still holding above 50% of this point of control. We have not came down here. We're building higher lows, higher lows, higher lows, higher lows. We got today's new higher high, which is important. In order to keep driving through here, we got to make higher highs. We cannot make those tweezer top highs equal highs or lower highs, because then that tells me sellers are in the market and they're continuing to push it down without the buyers breaking through there. So today was a good push that helps the depth of market. But let's see, there was a big rejection. So let's see if we can retain this bullish body right now that we have and continue to come up here. Because if we lose our bullish body right here, then we have a low wick. We could definitely maybe retest yesterday's low, maybe come back down, test Tuesday's low, maybe break our weekly low Monday, and then we're trading back into that point of control there, okay? So let's just follow, yesterday's volume and then how we're moving into today. So yesterday is the first bearish candle we see printed. We were bullish, bullish, bullish. Yesterday, we opened. It was initially bullish. It was lower than Tuesday's high, so a lower high. They pushed it back down to the opening price. Sellers were in control where it was bearish, 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 bearish. We came down there. That's our low yesterday. So let's identify it just in case we revisit this today. 3,358. And when it got down there, buyers were there protecting this low and that low. That created that higher low. And near the end of the day, it came back up with a little bit of buying pressure and we closed right there. So it still closed with a bearish engulfing candle. This bearish candle engulfed the previous day's candle and closed into about 50% of Monday's body. Now let's look at where we closed and where we opened today. So again, I put these yellow lines. They're points of interest. They're specific points of interest where wicks are, or daily lows, highs, or where bodies close and open. So when I look at yesterday's close and today's open, I notice that there's no gaps in the market. Sometimes you'll see a gap down daily candle. Sometimes you'll see a gap up. But it's just a clean transition. Where we closed is exactly where we opened. So no funny business on the opening candles, gap downs, this, that, were gaps filled, nothing. So it was a clean transition. We opened today here at 3,368, and it was initially bearish. So we came down. We can locate so far today's wick is already established. Will we revisit this? Possibly, or we'll hold it. So today's low is 3,365. you can see we are above yesterday's low of 3,358. That's about approximately a $7 move. So that's about a 70 pips. We're above yesterday's low. And it's being protected. Why? Because we came back up to the opening price, and today's body, look how bullish it was. Okay, we continued to come up bullish, 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 bullish. We got up to, and we engulfed yesterday's volume and this point of interest, where we had a previous day close on Tuesday, where we opened on Wednesday. We broke above that today. And that's, look at the number, 3,380. And we broke above that, and we continued to be bullish. We broke above yesterday's high. I know the wicks are very close together, but that wick is exactly what that wick, 3,385. We continued to break, and we broke Tuesday's high. So we made a new weekly high today. Today is Thursday, and we continue to push all the way up right into that big point of control in that supply zone. We made a high of the day, so you can see we peaked our head up there. There's a purple line I'm going to put for the high of the day. You can see we traded right in there, and the sellers were there protecting it, and they pushed it down, okay? And you can see the results. We came in there. We didn't come right in exactly 50%. We didn't come to the high up here. We just came right in there, and sellers were there. They were present. They're showing us. You can see. And then there's the rejection. So they absorbed all of that big bullish candle coming in there, and they pushed it all the way down, where we're back down to here. So this is the remaining amount of bullish volume we have in today's daily candle. If the daily buyers continue to come in here and ask to trade up here, we could be continuing to fill our wick and come back up. Also, watch for today's daily close of this bar. This bar is closing in 9 more hours, so lots of time. Will it close around here? Will it close up here? Will it be a bearish candle? I don't know. Until 9 hours, we'll figure that out. So right now, let's just see if it will maintain or retain its bullish volume. Because if they get all this absorbed, it will turn into a bearish pin bar and a shooting star candle not too far from today's low of the day. And this body could flip. They've got a big rejection, and it could flip, and then we're coming down bearish maybe today and tomorrow. And then taking out these lows, and maybe next week or tomorrow, we might be trading back in here where the bigger buyers are. And then we'll see how it transacts when it comes down there. But right now we're kind of barcoding. If you look at the daily volume this week, there's a bullish body, a bearish body. They're all kind of concentrated in this area. So we're consolidating. Some traders look at this as a neckline or a flag. So if I was to consolidate like the weekly volume, and I just made it neutral, that's basically where all the volume is trading currently this week. Yeah, there is a little bit of a range where it came down there and it went up there, but those are kind of like impulse moves where it broke up there, got rejected. It came down here and came back up. But most of the volume is still concentrated in here. So we still might be building this neckline, you know, and this is a pattern, guys. You guys can probably recognize this pattern where we came down, made a bottom. Now we're coming back up. So we realized where our neckline is, and it could definitely come back down, maybe test this, a higher low, come in here and go back up, right? And or it could come all the way back down, and this block doesn't hold, and then it comes down for a double bottom. It could come down also for a liquidity grab right there, or the bigger zone down there. There's obviously, the deeper you go down in the depth of market, the bigger the buyers are, because they're waiting on a higher time frame. Okay, it's all makes sense when you understand what's going on. But if that comes down there, we got a higher low. Okay. We could maybe just continue to consolidate in the zone and have a bullish flag breakout, right? But we got to break through this zone. And when we get up there, you guys know what's up there. There's a lot of rejections there, rejections there, rejections there. And there's the all-time high wick on gold. So slowly, you know, we could be making our way up there. But we got to get some, again, blue bullish closing volume close above here so that we can overtake all these sellers and continue to squeeze big short sellers up there trying to short gold down. Okay. And then if tariff kicks in, again, all types of things around the world, global indecision, wars, all kinds of things will drive demand for gold, and we could maybe cut through this zone. Okay. So let's now move from the daily and get it down to the 4-hour, and then the hourly, and then the 5 minutes, because we're approaching 8 a.m. and we just got to continue going. So look at the 4-hour volume. Okay, we had that big kind of, here it is. This is one bottom, came down. As it came down, did it get the double bottom? No, it got a higher low where 50% point of control of this big bullish candle right here. If you identified that candle and you stretch it across, I guarantee you that bearish volume would have came right into that point of control, and you see the results. And then here's NFP, big push on that 4-hour candle, and we have not came back in here. It's been making on the 4 hours higher low, equal bottom lows, higher low, a higher low. Again, where did that come into? 50% of that bullish candle, okay? So that point of control is very, very important. This is how our 4-hour candles are moving. They moved up, they came back down. Support, they came up, made that new higher high, got rejected, came back down, creating good support level here. You see the buyers are always coming in right around here, around 3,358. They're coming in. As they're pushing it up, you know, today we broke out. This is London's candle. Pre-London, 2 a.m., 3 a.m., 4 a.m., 5 a.m. That big 4-hour candle, that's what made our high of the day. We broke out, new higher high, but then it got rejected back down. So we're going to see now this 4-hour candle still has 2 hours to go. It's going to close around 10 a.m. Eastern. Will it continue to move up bullish? That's a big exhaustion wick. So again, the size of the wick matters. I always tell you this. So we got to get a lot of 4-hour buying pressure to continue to fill up this wick in this supply zone where there's a lot of offers. So we got this little doji candle on the 4-hour that could easily flip bearish, and then we're breaking back down, testing the low of the day, testing down here. Finally, I would be identifying that 3,349, 3,350 area. When I'm looking more now on the hourly, I use a white line. Either if it's the 4-hour, 2-hour, or hour, it doesn't matter. If I'm on the hourly and I'm off the daily, I use white lines. So that has to be an hourly support level. You can see that 4-hour candle came down there, and look at the support, it got that wick. And it's at that psychological number, 3,350. Guys, thank you everyone on YouTube for coming back. We got our 230 viewers again. Guys, I know it sucks, and but if you can hit the like button and subscribe and hit that notifications, because if our YouTube goes down, I will reboot the computer, come back on, and then you guys are notified to get back on, okay? Thanks, guys, for coming back. I do appreciate it, and sorry for the inconvenience. It's inconvenient for me, as I know it is for you guys as well. Believe me, I hate when this happens. It disrupts the flow of the stream and everything. But we're back, and let's just stay focused, okay? See on the hourly now, we're in this hourly channel where, you know, you can draw a trend line if you want, like on the hourly. We're basically in this type of trend right here, okay? I'm kind of connecting the lows and I'm connecting the highs, okay? You can see it's kind of in this channel. You see how I connected it? Coming out of here, this big bullish NFP, that last pullback was right there at that hourly 3,350. Bottom of the channel, back up. We came right back down. Where? At that daily position, 3,358, yellow line, and we're at that hourly channel, continue to move back up. You see, we're getting to that dotted line. The dotted line is like the psychological midpoint of the parallel channel. So it's just like a point of control. You know, if we're above it, it could be bullish. If we're below it, sellers could still bring it back down. But when we get up there, it comes back down. We're still respecting this channel. We pushed up. We did push above there. Okay, that was a good push. It got us to our high of the day at 3 a.m. That was London market open. And then 4 a.m. was a big bearish candle dropping, coming right back down. But slowly, it could be coming back up. This hour is going to close in 3 minutes, going into 8 a.m. We're already engulfing one bar. Maybe we might engulf like those 2 bearish bars, and then we might come back up into here. But you could also, if you're in like a more of a 15-minute, 30-minute, 5-minute trader like myself, that's a big bearish candle coming down from 4 a.m. You could locate, again, grab your Fibonacci tool, go from the high to the low of that 4 a.m. candle, identify the point of control, because that's a big bearish candle. It engulfed 2 hours of bullish volume and really slammed it down, because we could be trading back in there, and that's where the resistance could be, and then they push it back down, okay? So all depends on the time frame trader you are, but that's an important candle also to acknowledge, okay? I don't want to have too many zones and this and that, because it's going to get confusing in here. But that's important more if you're an intraday trader. Very important, guys. Not so much if you're like a swing trader and you're looking to hold gold for multi-days or multi-weeks. This is more for intraday traders, showing how bearish that candle is. If we come back in there, we have to respect those sellers in there from coming out of London. Okay, and we're still, in this parallel channel. If we break this channel, like if it closes bearish on the hourly below here, might retest this, then you get that drop coming back down to the green box. You can see that there's not much support holding this. It's just that big bullish candle. So that could be a significant sell coming in the market. If it breaks down. Okay, so that's important to watch for as well on your hourly. From the hourly, you can go to the 30-minute. I can go even into the 15-minute. Okay, if you're a 15-minute trader, same thing. Look at the big bullish push coming up. There was a big 15-minute body right here at 2:30 prior to London that closed above the structure. You can get a pullback. You could wait for 50% in here. It continued to drive up, making those higher highs and higher lows. I can see now we hit the high of the day exactly at 3:45 a.m. Eastern, and then 4 a.m. was the big drop. There's the staircase going up and an elevator coming down. You see how those two 15-minute bodies took out 2, 4, 6, 8, almost 9 15-minute bodies. Elevator coming down, it took 2 of them to bring it down. Okay, so that's why it's always important. If you're in a buy, trail your wins behind. Have a trailing stop loss. It's good trading behavior to take some profit out of the market, not getting too greedy, because this can happen. Believe me, it's happened to me a lot, and I left a lot of money on the table over my years of trading, and I try not to do that anymore. Okay, you can see how the 15-minute candles were barcoding, moving up bullish, coming back down bearish, going down bearish, coming up bullish, bearish. Like they're kind of barcoding. That's a lot of accumulation on both sides. Sellers are accumulating, buyers are accumulating. Came in here at 7 a.m. with a nice big bullish engulfing candle. It kind of engulfed everything. We continue to push up. But you see, look at the 15-minute candles. They make tweezer top highs. They make equal highs. See those 2 wicks right there? They are virtually equal, where it got up to 3,383 and 18 cents. Came up there, and they both went down. And now we're starting this push down where in this 15-minute bullish engulfing candle, right around there is 50%. I can see that pullback is right in 50%. I can see that pullback is still holding 50%. If I was to draw on this engulfing candle, the 50% point, I would stretch it across. And if I was a 15-minute trader or a scalper, I could be buying out of that point of control of that 15-minute candle. I know it's not a lot of pips, but you could still be making 10, 15, 20 pips, depending at what type of scalper you are, okay? If you're not concerned about, if you want more than 10, 15, 20 pips, get off of the 1 minute, 3 minute, and maybe the 5 minute time frames. Focus on higher time frames so you can focus on bigger moves. This could be a 15-minute head and shoulder. This is your left shoulder. There's your big head that broke out. It got rejected. There's that like kind of recovery back down. Now we're trading right back in the right shoulder. It could have this move coming back down. So if we start to close below all this 15-minute structure, there we are at that hourly trend line. It could break down there, and then we could have a bearish day coming in on gold today or going into Friday. Okay, right now it's coming back down bearish. Let's go into the 5 minutes. Okay, this is how it looks on the 5 minutes. There was that big push going up. We hit that high at 350, started to come down on the 5 minutes, kind of what went up, came all the way right back down. It got choppy, got real ugly in here. We're still trading pretty choppy, but overall, this is a lower high from over here. Yes, we are pushing up on the higher time frames, but right now we got to watch what's going on in here, going into Comex, okay? And remember, this is a big red zone above us. So what I can do is I can keep the bigger point of control, this 50%. I can get rid of this red zone. Maybe it's, and then we just watch these points of interest, this yellow line, that yellow line. This dotted line across is our hourly parallel channel. That's that psychological midpoint. And then we drive into the high of the day, and then we know where this red zone is. It's that point of control of the all-time high supply zone. And then at the top of it, there's our hourly parallel channel up there, okay? So we can watch this on the 5 minutes. I use this yellow line as a point of interest. It is a very important daily point of interest. And you see how the 5 minute candles come up here? They kind of, impulsively break above there. They get back down. Come up again, double top, they go back down. Come and retest this again, they go back down. Here it actually closed above and they broke, and that's as high as it got. And sellers pushed it right back down. So I'm going to draw kind of a red box to illustrate that this is where sellers are. So if we're buying, we got to understand that we're buying into sellers there. It came in there, back down, came in there, back down, came in there, back down, came in again. Yes, it broke out a little bit, but kind of faked out those buyers and brought it right back down. Now we're coming right back in it again. Okay, so we're about 15 minutes away from Comex. We're still building a little bit of higher lows. Do we have some 5-minute support in the market? I can see that last drop caused that big move coming up. That big pullback stayed right there, held. So, I could draw right here a nice little 5-minute supporting zone, and we can see our range where we're trading with the volume currently. So when it came back down in there, came back in that green box, that was kind of a double bottom, but didn't really move above here. It came back down in here, held back up, kind of inside consolidation, accumulation. This is not the best area to be trading. No real move. We came back in here again, nice big push up. That was kind of the fake out up there and coming back down. Have we traded back down into this green box? No, you can see it's kind of making a little bit of higher lows. So let's watch. Let's see if the buyers can close it above here, make a new high. Maybe we could catch a pullback buy here and start to drive through these levels, or sellers could push it back down. We close below here, flip this red box. There's the bottom of the parallel channel, and then we lose the low of the day, and then it's a bearish day coming down. Okay, so that's what we're watching for. So we're gonna just watch this going into Comex. Also, guys, what we said today is we're gonna watch it split screen. Okay, so here's the gold on the right side, and this is US dollar, or sorry, DXY US dollar index, okay, on the 5 minutes. So, and this is the US dollar index, daily bar indicator. Let's add our indicators here on gold too. There's our gold candle. So we know the opening price made that low of the day, was very, very bullish going into London, then coming out at just 4 a.m. Eastern. That's where we got that big selling pressure pushing all the way right back down. So this is where we're trading at currently, okay? And we can also follow the US dollar index. Again, it's not always correlated. So if you see the US dollar index going up, traditionally we should see gold going down, but it's not always the case. Okay, I watch the security I'm actually trading, not so much correlations. Okay, I utilize it just like I do an indicator. So if I'm adding my 9 EMA on the chart, my green line, my 200 EMA, it's right there. It's kind of like I use this as another indicator, just like I use my RSI. Okay, guys, we almost have 300 viewers. Thank you guys for coming back. We appreciate you guys. Hit the likes, subscribe to the channel, and notifications, because we're doing gold going into Comex, and then after we're going to do NASDAQ and US30 going into Wall Street. Okay, is anyone in any trade right now? Is anyone speculating? Anyone holding? There could be sellers holding from this big move coming down. There could be buyers, accumulating here as well. Latest on Dow sells. Nice. We'll get to Dow in just in a moment. Red, your layered gold sells from, yeah. Okay, so a lot of you guys are in sells from Discord. So again, looking at Discord, going to, let me just refresh in case there was any updates, but looking for sells below 3375. So let's mark 3375 on our gold chart, just so we know where that level is, okay? So I'll place kind of a red line, 3375, just below here, okay? So it's below this structure right here. Yeah, we could definitely look for sells coming down there. So what we're looking for is more bearish volume to hold here at this zone, come back down, maybe close below that 3375, maybe down here, maybe we'll bounce up, come back up, maybe we'll retest this, because I can see already support, support, support right there, just above 3376. Maybe if we close below it, that supporting area will turn to resistance. Maybe then it will break this, and then we get that drop for the day. So again, let's keep an eye on that. I'm not in any trade right now. I'm just observing myself. Yeah, Rakesh, that's not really good. You feel embarrassed to say this, but today you did revenge trading and lost 30% of your capital. I'm not surprised by this. I'm not surprised by this. I know. We trade on a daily basis. That's not good, okay? Why are you revenge trading 30% of your entire capital? We say to trade with 1 to 2% of your entire account per day. If you get stopped out, that's it. It's like a baseball game. Take your 3 strikes and the game is over. And then come back the next day. When you lose 2%, 5%, 10%, stop trading. And then it turns into 20%, then 30%. You thank God you stopped. Because if you didn't stop, you probably would have lost 50% or 100% of your entire capital. I know I sound like I might be rude saying this, but everyone, stop fucking trading like this. What do you think you're going to get out of doing shit like this? How can you, oh my God, how can you risk your in basically half your account in one day of trading, and you're trading on revenge? Walk away, just walk away, go catch your breath and close the computers. It's tough, guys. But you got to learn from it. If you want to bounce back and come back as a mature, disciplined trader, you have to overcome this. We've all been through it, okay? I'm not going to lie here. I've been through that too. When I started trading, I revenge trade. I lost 30% of my entire capital too. But I came back stronger and I learned from it. I never committed that mistake again, right? We all have done it, basically. We've all revenge traded. We've all lost, blown up accounts and lost a lot of money, okay? But that's it now. Rakesh, I'm not trying to pick on you, but if you come back, you got to trade smart, okay? It might take you months now to recover that 30%. It might take you 3 months, 6 months, 1 year to recover that. That's why when you build your account, I keep mentioning to our snipers in our group. There's some snipers that have gained 30%, 50%, 100% in the last couple months. And I'm telling them every single day, I'm reminding them, don't do anything stupid, because now you're compounding that account. Those 1%, 2%, 3% gains can be big money start coming once you start scaling that account. But one big mistake like that can cost you months and years of hard work. Not just losing money, but you lose a lot of time in the markets. It could be demoralizing for most traders. Some traders do not ever recover from that, never come back and trade another candlestick after that. I've seen it. Okay. But oh man, guys, that's the hardest part of trading, is when you have a tough day. I have tough days. You guys see when I'm live, I take 1, 2, 3 trades and I get stopped out. But you don't see me coming back later that afternoon saying, guys, hey, I just fucked up. I lost 30, 50% of my entire account. No, I don't even trade the rest of the day. I'm done. Like, I'm doing other things. That's why, guys, I tell you, it's very important. Have hobbies. Do something where you're not glued to the monitors all day, every day. Do something. When you hit your daily goals, you get out of the markets. If you hit your daily loss for the day, 1% you lose, you get out of the markets and you go do your hobbies. Come back the next day with a clear head. It's very important, guys. I know a lot of traders don't want to talk about this stuff, but we have to, because it's real. It's out there. Look, there's someone right there, revenge trading. You got to learn, you're basically gambling is what you're doing. You're a gambler. You're not a trader at this point. You're not. I'm sorry to say this. Traders don't revenge trade. Traders don't ever risk 30% of their account on one day. To me, that's just mind-boggling. And especially if it's your own capital, man. Hey, yeah, Sean, I don't want to, but yeah, that's what journaling does. Sean, journaling helps with that. You're going to start to figure out that what maybe triggers those bad days is coming from something outside of the markets. And that's what journaling does. It teaches you these things and you got to learn from it, So I'm happy that you're journaling, Sean, and you're learning from it, and you'll just get better and better and better. Yeah, I believe in you, Rakesh. I know. You'll definitely work on psychology and risk management and you'll get back stronger. Absolutely. We've all gone through it. Okay. I'll be the first one to say that I've gone through worse than what you're going through. But I bounced back and I came back stronger and I came back smarter and I came back more disciplined. And I know you can too. But sometimes it takes those those lessons, those ones that really hurt you. Just remain positive, learn from it, and know that you can never do this again. Okay. Okay. So let's watch now. Gold is moving. We're making. Okay. We're looking for. I'm looking for a sell below 3375. Okay. There's a little bit of bullish structure still holding here. We are pushing down on the 5 minutes. Lower low came back up. That's a lower high at 3,380. Pushing down. It just came back into about 50% of that big bearish candle. Continue push down. We're about 6 minutes away from Comex market open. Oh, you got a layer sell there, Clues, at 3380. Yeah, okay. Um, it's just in this range right here, 3,380 down to 70. You know, that $10 range. It's still consolidating in here. So I'm looking for maybe a close below, this second half to really push down. But if you guys are trading in here, selling, maybe place your stop losses above this red zone. Measure the move so you know the distance, so you know what maybe lot size, contract size to use. Okay, so look at, we got a shooting star candle coming down. It's going to close in 10 seconds. So as soon as it broke that low, you see how they just spiked right back up and it closed as a spin top. So buyers are buying right into the close as soon as it broke that low, and there's the close. So we didn't get that closure below that red line there. Okay, so let's just watch the next 5 minute candle. This could come up bullish again. You have your 9 and your 200 that have been close together. That's why we got this kind of choppy trading behavior. But that could technically cause the 9 to cross below the 200, and then you get that bearish crossover. But it's still in a very, very tight zone here. Okay, so like speaking with correlations, if we're looking for a sell on gold to come down into here, then we should see bullish on the DXY, like just correlation speaking, right? We got to see a strong DXY for gold to drop. If DXY is going down, you'll maybe correlate it with a positive move of gold going up. And that's what we're seeing right now. You see that big bearish ignited candle coming down, you see a big bullish ignited candle going up. So that is showing a direct correlation. Okay, but remember what I said earlier, not always the case. Okay. I'm just going to take a look at spreads. Okay, I got a pretty good spread right now, 0.5. That's half a pip, but I know it's going to go up as we lead into Comex. So I'm just looking at the spreads right now. So it's trading back into about 50% of that big bearish engulfing candle that came down at 805. 50% is like right around here. So it's trading back in there. We'll see if the sellers are still there, can, absorb these buyers and maybe break this thing down. Denny, sorry for asking, but how did I determine or get the red line? This red line? Oh, I was just looking at, that recent low, that wick right there at 740, how it came down. That's where I placed it. And then I just saw that we broke it, but then it quickly came back up and then started bullish igniting, coming right back up. So, if you want to draw like kind of like a little bullish zone, like kind of right there, you could draw like a little green box there. So that's what we're technically trying to break for sellers down in here. And you can see how the buyers are still holding strong. There, it did break that low, but it kind of came right back up, closed in it, and now you got a bullish move coming right back up. So, that's what I'm watching to see if it can kind of break below there. Okay, right now I don't like trading this type of volume. It's still, both sides are accumulating. Sellers, buyers. So I'm on the sidelines walking into Comex. What we could see is maybe a double top where it came up. There's the one big top in that bigger red zone. Here, all of this you can consider like to be support one level coming back up. Maybe it might be like a double top here and then they bring it down. That could be the neckline, break, close, retest, then we're dropping like that. However, opposite is it's holding, it could go up, came down, now it's coming back up. It might not be like when it comes in here, it could maybe take out those highs and close above there. And then unfortunately, I got to make that red box green. I got to go through my motions, and then it could turn to support. Then all of a sudden, buyers are pushing gold up to 3385 and maybe up there. And shorts could kind of get squeezed down out of the market. So again, I can't control the way how it moves. I can just control watching it where it closes and how it closes. And it's still got a bullish body in the daily candle. Okay. DXY has a little bit of a indecision daily candle. Reese, unemployment claims should be higher, so it should be bullish for gold. Maybe drop incomes, then buy up unemployment claims. Yep, we'll see when they release the unemployment claims at 8:30. Those are the week over week unemployment claims. Okay, guys, so now this is Comex market open, 8:20 a.m. Eastern. So this is a specific exchange opening for metals. Silver trades on this exchange, gold, copper, and others. This exchange opens up right now, 8:20, and closes at 1:30 p.m. Eastern. Okay. Okay, so you got another bullish move coming back up. We're testing the red zone up here. So let's see if the sellers are here, can push it back down, or we'll watch and see. I'm also looking for lower highs. I'm also watching those wicks up there, okay, because that's what started the move coming down. Those are those equal highs that I was talking about at that 3383.14 level right around there. So I'd like to see if it produces a lower high and comes back down, or if these buyers are going to break that high and create a new higher high in the market. Do you guys like this DXY split chart on the side, or is it kind of confusing you? For some traders, it confuses them, and I'm just telling you what I hear from other traders. Some gold traders do not like looking at this because sometimes it, throws them off. I use it as reference to everything. I watch the US dollar index for everything. Whatever I'm trading. If I'm trading Dow Jones, I'm watching the US index. If I'm trading NASDAQ, if I'm trading S&P, if I'm trading the British pound or the euro or the Canadian dollar, I'm watching this. If I'm trading gold and oil, I'm watching the US dollar. The US dollar index is an overall analysis of the strength of the US dollar compared to all major currencies around the world. So for me personally, I have this, but I have it on another screen. I like to look at like my securities. I like to look at full chart so I can see the whole picture. When I do this split screen stuff, it's hard to see like all the way what happened, so it kind of takes away the screen real estate here, but it's important. I personally have it on another screen on itself, on another monitor, and I'm constantly watching this. When I'm trading with you guys and I'm trading by myself, always. I have one monitor dedicated to this DXY. Bisma, you guys are used to it because they've used it? Yeah, absolutely. Yep. I just sometimes it throws some traders off because they think it's directly correlated. So if they see it going down, gold has to be going up. But I just want to make it clear that there's no kind of correlations with this. I've seen DXY go down. I've seen gold go down. I've seen DXY go up. I've seen gold go up. Okay, so just want to put it out there that this is just like another indicator, just like an EMA, an RSI, a MACD. It's an indicator. Okay, and so we made it back up to that yellow daily point of interest, 3,380. There was a little bit of a rejection there. But again, kind of the volume is kind of choppy, clumped inside here. We're smart. We know that gold is not just going to trade in here all day. It's eventually going to maybe make a break above here, but it could get rejected, right? We're watching for that. And it may not hold this all day here. But remember, this is just an inside block. The bigger one is down here. Okay, so like if I was to remove that green zone, it's just a line showing the support of the 5 minutes currently. The bigger one is down here. This one has been tested at prior to 2 a.m. and look at that big bullish explosion out of there. It came back, retested this after 4:30 a.m. and went back up. It came again in here at 5:30 and went back up. It came in here again prior to 7 a.m. right when we started the call, and it went back up. But the sellers are pushing it down. So, like both sides are accumulating. We're in this range. It's tough to trade this stuff. The best scenario is if you're maybe taking some buys or you're taking some sells, I would suggest just going small, start a small position, because if you do get stopped out, you can easily eliminate it and shift it and refocus. But if you're going in with big sizing in here, this is where you're going to get mad. If you're in a buy and then it does this candle, you're going to get probably stopped out. You're going to get frustrated. And then you're going to go in a sell and then they catch you down there. Then it's up here. Then you start that cycle. Revenge trading, over leveraging. You're getting pissed off and the cycle begins. Welcome to the psychological world of trading. Otherwise, just stay out of this. Like me, I'm not in this right now. I'm still on the sidelines watching. I don't see a big move yet, a big clue. I see it was selling down, but it held there. There's the block, and now it's coming up. This one red block is still intact. We're just trading in this range right now. It's in a 50 pip range from 380 to 375. If you're scalping this, yeah, you can grab your 20, 30 pips in and out. Some scalpers have hit their daily goal right now. They could have sold this leg down, cashed out, could have bought this leg going back up, bought this leg and you're done for the day. That's a scalper's mindset. You're looking for 20 pips, 25 pips, in and out, in and out. But there's other traders who are holding positions. Okay, and now we're going to move into 8:30. There's some news coming, so let's just get a refresher on the news coming up. We've got our weekly unemployment claims, US red folder coming in. Okay, there were 218,000 was the actual unemployment numbers last week. They're forecasting a 3,000 increase to 221. We'll see what the actual number is here. And then we have some other US low impact folders on the preliminary non-farm productivity quarter over quarter. And we're also looking at the prelim unit labor costs. Okay, if you want to briefly read what they are so you can get familiar with what they are, click on the folder and you can read it there. So that's pretty much our high impact news we have, and then we'll go into 10 a.m. And then our 30-year bond auction is later this afternoon. It could be one of those days where today is like a sideways day. Every day can't be a trending day. You gotta know that. Some days are those tough days. Guys, amazing. Thank you guys so much. 364 viewers is unbelievable for us at SST. Thank you guys. We really do appreciate it. Um, Vanita, you're absolutely not liking gold since yesterday. Just be patient. Just be patient. Some days you got to understand that securities do trade like this. They got to accumulate. They got to accumulate for the bigger move. Just be patient. Be disciplined. Understand that the volume is coiling up for a bigger move. Okay. They might not redistribute this volume today. Maybe it's going to be tomorrow. But, just patience. When you recognize that it's tough trading, trade smaller. Listen to what I'm saying. When it's a tough trading environment, trade smaller. Protect your capital. That's what we do as traders. The more capital you protect, the better you can trade on those days when it's trending and you're loving the volume. Okay, don't get over don't overtrade on shit days like this. Okay, just that it's going to take you to realize this. You're going to have to go through this. I went through this. Dave went through this. A lot of snipers went through this. Okay, it's just you got to understand how markets work. Not every day is a sunny day in the markets. Some days are those rainy days, those shitty days. Look at the volume, do your analysis. If you don't like it, walk away. No one is telling you you have to trade today. I need you to record that message so I can constantly play on loudspeakers when you're trading. I say it every single day. We've been saying this for the past 6 years. So just listen in on every single situation. Okay, look at now what we're getting. We're getting a bullish breakout. Okay, it broke through those highs. Will the body of volume close above this red zone? Notice I haven't turned it green yet until this body closes. So this is showing me a little bit of bullish momentum. It broke, see right there how it held that little higher low leg up there. So it did push up. They did create that higher high on the news now. So they're releasing those unemployment numbers. You can see DXY is pushing down bearish currently. So that's causing gold to break out of here. So it broke out of those tweezer top highs, created a new high. Let's just see where that body of volume will close. Okay, we can take a look at also the news. We can see the actual numbers if they're pending or released. Okay, so they came out. 226,000. Someone will say, well, Ron, the number's bigger. Why is it red? These are unemployment numbers. So it's above last week. It's above their forecast. Okay, so it's above 5,000 over their forecast, and it's 7,000 over last week. So that's 5, 6, 7,000 more people are out of work, seeking work, unemployed, right? Not good. Okay, so that's not good for last week over week. So that's directly impacting the US dollar right now. It showed a bearish candle, but it's got a wick now coming back up. Okay, so we'll watch and wait for the close of this candle right here. Okay, it's a strong candle. Okay, what you can also do is from the highest point of the day, this big significant sell-off came down to there. You can grab kind of your Fibonacci tool, and we can find the point of control of that leg coming down from the highest point of the day, right there, that purple line coming all the way down. You can put it down to the low of that green box right there. You can see how we're trading in now. There's the 0.5, there's the 618 of that entire bearish leg coming down. So if I was to draw like a point of control zone, I know it's a bigger zone, it's this entire zone right here. If I make it red, I don't want to confuse you guys, but that is basically the big point of control of that entire leg coming down. So you see how gold is buying right into it right now? So we'll see now. We'll see if this is a true bearish move, if the sellers can absorb this big news candle. Okay? Okay, the body has not closed officially yet. It's closing in 90 seconds. Very, very bullish. You can see how DXY came up, continuing to push down. Okay, so are those unemployment numbers good for U.S. economy? Good for the dollar? No. Anytime there's unemployment, you hear unemployment numbers, unemployment going up. It's not good for your local currency. It doesn't matter. If we were in the UK and UK unemployment is going up, the pound would be selling off. If we're in Canada here, if unemployment is going up, the Canadian dollar is selling. It's weak. So you can see how it is pushing down right now. And if you're trading pound, maybe it's bullish right now. If you're trading the euro, it's probably bullish right now. Okay, because these are unemployment figures coming out of the United States. And you see how gold is reacting. Gold is kind of a safe haven where when US dollar is selling, more investors park their investments in gold. And you're seeing a direct correlation of that right now. Okay, so it's closing all the way up there. So did it close above our original zone that we were looking at here? Yes, it did. So I'm just converting that. And that big bearish zone that took that entire leg down, it closed above that as well. So, if it pulls back into here, you could see maybe a higher low buying support continue to take this up. If we come back down bearish, got to come through all the way through this zone again. So it's got a lot of work to do. I'll just kind of make this green as of now because it did close above here, and I'll just keep it to the side. So we'll watch for any pullbacks coming in here. You have another daily point of interest at 3390 up here. Guys, sometimes I don't like trading against the SST Discord signals. So, maybe that's why I'm not looking to take a trade right now. I don't like to, go against those and then kind of confuse everyone. But, just continue. I just watch volume. That's what I do. I watch volume, and it is closed really bullish, closed right near the high. So if this pulls back, it could pull back into here, and we'll see what happens at 3385. We completely blew this part. We could maybe look for a sell at the highest point. Okay, maybe it comes all the way up, like a double top to the highest point of the day. These buyers start to get exhausted and bigger sellers are there. Yeah, these are weekly unemployment numbers. Okay, it's not like it's monthly. It's week over week. So it could come up there and then sell back down. Okay, you could sell the highest point of the day like a double top. Like here, if you look at this overall, it came all the way up there, pushed all the way down. We can consider this whole block right here, 3372 right here, as a bottom, as one bottom. I know all of this is clumped together, but you can consider it as one big bottom. And we're coming right back up now. Will we get a lower high right here? Remember the dotted line? When we're looking now higher time frames, that was the hourly point of interest on our parallel channel, that dotted line, and we're at that yellow line, 3390. Okay, could be a lower high and then ready to come back down. It could come all the way up to that highest point up there to the day to double top and then drop. Okay, so right now let's see if our daily traders, daily sellers, can step in and hold it below here, and maybe we can push down. Okay, so let's see. Right now we got a wick up there. It is coming down. Still a little bit bullish, higher low. We'll watch where this candle will close in the next 2 minutes. And we'll stick with this for maybe another 10 minutes, and then we'll shift focus back to, we'll switch over to US30 and NASDAQ. So you see now, the DXY is pushing down. Okay, that was that big wick right there at 7 a.m. That's when UK dropped their monetary policy and their quarter 25-point basis cut. That's when it dropped, came right back up, and now could push down. We'll see if it will make a higher low relative to that wick. Will it bounce back up, or is it going to continue to break down here? Legendary. No, this is not NAS100. We're on gold right now. This is gold, and this is DXY. We'll get to NASDAQ and US30 in maybe 10 more minutes. Samuel, is this a nice pullback for long on gold? Possibly, yeah. These are levels. These are zones, you know. If you're looking for a pullback, that's a big bullish candle. I would be looking, Samuel, maybe grab your tool right here, Fibonacci, and figure out, you see right there, like that yellow line is the top of it, but right inside there, that could be your zone about 3383, 3384. You know, if it pulls back in there, Samuel, it could pull back right in there, that pocket, and go right back up like that, okay? It could, better area is obviously this green zone, which was that entire resistance for this entire time in here, which was resistance. Maybe that green block can turn into possible buy right there at 33.80. But if you're just testing 50% of that candle, you could get that pullback in there, okay? This is a bearish candle coming all the way back down. Let's see where it will close. 14 seconds, we're at that yellow line, okay? So far, it came up there. Sellers are bringing it right back down. I know I have a lot of zones on my chart. I'll get rid of this one, okay? So it didn't close below there. Now it is pushing down. So it's trading in that pocket, guys. Okay, let me just show you guys. I know I love to trade, and I want to trade. I want to take some buys. I want to take some sells, but I just want to show you guys too. There's that pocket of that big bullish candle. Now the sellers are trading into it, okay? So when you're looking to buy pullbacks, came in there, back up, closed. Came in there, back up. This could engage a move to go back up, but it could also further come down in here. This zone is stronger than this one. This is just relative to that last 5-minute news candle at 8:30. Okay, so maybe this is a fake out. Maybe that big news, okay, it reacted to the news when it initially happened. But remember what I said, this is week over week. Okay, it's not like it's a monthly unemployment. This is week over week, and maybe now the market, you know, is coming back to where it took off from, right here. Okay, so now it's coming back down. It's trading in that pocket of that point of control. Let's see who's stronger. We can wait for this body to close. Now you see the DXY found a little bit of support and coming back up. So naturally, if correlations, if we got a strong DXY, we should see selling pressure on gold. Maybe this is the neckline, right? You know, you got to be patient and allow trades to develop, right? Or if you're looking for buys or sells, like there was the news came up. Okay, so we found the top. Coming back down in here, it could come back up again. Then what if it's a double top and then they break it down? You'll see we're going to have to still try and break this point of control, and then we get down into there. Okay, so you see it's still holding right now. So that's why you were asking me, Samuel, if you like to buy pullbacks. That's like one zone you can entertain. But like I said, this is just representing that 5-minute candle. This is representing more of a higher time frame location, this green box. If you ask me where's better to buy, obviously this one is better than here. But sometimes you'll get just a pullback in there. If the news is continuing, you know, we're continuing to push up. But when in doubt, wait it out. Watch the bodies to close. You know, if you're taking a speculating buy, go smaller. If it goes in your direction, Samuel, and you like what you see, it agrees with your bias, then you can start adding a larger position. That's what I do. From time to time, I speculate. If I want to, maybe I want to get a bigger buy in here, but I don't want to miss out this move. So I test it out. If it holds here and continues to go up, then I'll maybe add my additional position. But I'm trying to wait for it to come in down in here, you know. It's not easy to time every single trade exactly. For traders that say they can do this with minimal drawdown all day, they're full of shit. I'll tell you straight up. Come and show us how you do it live. You know, I could do this all day after the fact, go back yesterday and say, I did this, you know, look at the body, say, I did that, I bought here, place, and then that was, show us how you do it live. Come on here and do it live. Not one day a week, not one day a month. Do it for 6 years straight. And come and be as transparent and show where you buy, where you sell, where your break evens are, where you place your stop loss. Come show us. Teach me. If you can do it perfectly every day, 100%, I would love to learn from you. Please teach me how you do it. Because I know it's not easy. It's not easy. I'd be the first one to tell you if trading was easy. This shit is very difficult. You have to have patience. If you don't have patience, trading probably won't be for you. I'm telling you the honest truth. I'll save you a lot of time and money. If you don't have patience, you gotta maybe figure out another field to make some money, because trading requires extreme patience, discipline, risk management, not risking 30% of your entire account when you're losing. Because now you got to recover all of that to get back to square one. It's not easy to do that when you're not thinking straight. Okay, so this body's closing in 10 seconds. So you still see it's kind of like an inside bar. Hasn't really broke this block yet. Closing with a little bit of bearish volume. Now we open bearish ignited, pushing down. So let's see if it can take out that low. Maybe it will swing back up. Okay, so it's still now transacting in that block. Came down there. Buyers are asking to trade up here. Let's see if it can hold. It's 8:45. Okay, so, you know, this is a new 15-minute candle opening in the market. You could also look at your 15s. Okay, so you see the for 8:30, that was that unemployment claims came out, big bullish candle, but then it got rejected. It closed with that much left of bullish volume on the 15-minute bar. So are we going to come back down and retest this opening position? You know, this might be like a fake out where it just came out, grabbed liquidity, and sellers are pushing it back down. There's that big 15-minute bar that came down. So we traded right into it. I can see we traded right into about 50% of it. That's where it got rejected. We just got to get our additional sellers to step back in and bring it back down here. This could be, you know, like where we're looking for that sell. It could be coming through there, come back all the way down there, then you got that big drop right there. That could be a big fake out, news fake out, okay? Just remain patient. Let's see if it will come down to us. But it could also come down to this green block and find buyers. There's the 9 EMA on the 15 and drive right back up. So when I'm watching it on the 5s, here it comes down, okay? So it's kind of breaking through that block right now. Let's see if it will go down lower, okay? Here it comes down. So it might negate all of that bullish volume that we had on news. So it's coming back down. Yeah, Andre, that's what I always say. If in doubt, when in doubt, wait it out. I'll tattoo that on my forehead for you guys. I'll have like on my forehead a lot of tattoos saying risk management, when in doubt, wait it out. You know, patience, discipline. So we'll tattoo that on our foreheads to remind you guys. Clues, I did see Ethereum a few hours ago. Yeah, Ethereum's been coiling up for big breakout. Yeah, it was a pretty good move. Okay, and if you were a buyer, you know, like what goes up can come down. That's what I always tell you guys. You know, that if we measure that eight, that's basically a 90 pip move, 90. And look at, if you didn't do anything, look how it comes all the way right back down, okay? So now we're trading in here. So this block, initially didn't hold up, okay? So you can tell how much pressure is coming down on a higher time frame. Now we're testing the real block. This is the real one, closing in 2 minutes. The seller's going to bring it right back down. That looks like a big fake out to me. We might be coming down here, close, retest this, might be completing like a right shoulder and shooting back down. Okay, but right now, let's see if the buyers are stepping in, protecting this. So there's good moves going up. There's a good move coming down. But now we'll figure out the real move inside here. So you guys with that sell bias, you still can have your sell bias, but we got to get selling pressure to maybe come back and trade again back in this range. And that looks to me just like a news fake out. If you higher time frames, it's still holding. That's a lower high from the highest point of the day where they dropped it. So it did break through there on that unemployment news, and now it's coming right back down. I could stay with gold all day. Like, that's what I tend to do. I stay with one security. I watch every single move it does. But we got to switch focus soon, and we're going to do US30 and NASDAQ. Amazing. Safula, sorry if I mispronounce your name. You get a lot of confidence from our analysis and learn new things from us. Perfect. Yep. As long as you're learning every single day something new, that's great. That's what trading is. Learning, and you can earn while you're learning at the same time. Okay, so there's the body that closed inside that green zone. If I get my cut line to represent 50% of that bearish candle, it's right around there, 3,383. So we're still in this green zone, right? So we should see some buyers bringing it back up, but maybe it comes up to 50% and then a lower high and they push it down. Okay, if we start to see it move below 33.80 and close below there, we could look to maybe sell that leg coming back down, and maybe we'll break this block and come down to the bigger block down in here. Okay, but if it still holds, you know, if you're looking for a pullback buy, Samuel, where you were looking for a buy, see how it didn't hold 50% of that candle, okay? But now this is the bigger buy area. Remember, this was resistance over here, resistance right here. We had that big news candle close above there. Now it's retracing all the way back down. So this is where the zone flips from red to green. It opened bullish ignited, and it's coming all the way back up now. So now you see how you find necklines in the market. This is how you found the high, the push, and then it came all the way back down to now the real zone. This is the real zone here. Okay, so the one inside is just representing 50% of that news candle on that specific 5 minutes, but this is higher time frame, Samuel. So this zone was being created since 4:20 a.m. Eastern. So you can see it's been over 4 hours. That was just a 5-minute candle. So higher time frame holds more weight than just one candle, okay? So this is a better buying opportunity in this block. But let's see if it holds up, right? It opened bullish ignited right in that zone, and it's pushing up, okay? So it came right through there. Did it come all the way up? No, that's a lower high. Volume is still below 50% of this bearish candle. So we're going to figure out how it closes. Body of volume, that's going to be our crash course webinar tomorrow. We also did a blog on it. That's why we do these, guys, for you to learn. This is an inverted hammer candle, opened with that ignited open. There's a reason for all of this. You know, I try to explain it on every single candle when we're trading and analyzing live here. But also, guys, if you want to read our blog and learn a little bit on yourself, you know, you could expedite your education and learn a little bit faster. Okay, so now Let's see if it holds that bullish opening. Where will this body close? Will it close above 50%? Will it build another candle to come back up? Are we going to retest this lower high? Are we going to get a double top? Are sellers going to reject this entire buyers? And we saw that they came in on this block, very ignited. Now it's an inverted hammer candle. They could flip this and close it below there and then start that leg coming down. So we could possibly be looking for sells below here, 3380. To continue to come down to 75, maybe break down to this green block down in here. But seller's got a lot of work to do to break it below here. Right now it's still holding. And you see DXY, it's getting sloppy. Bearish, bullish, bearish, bullish, bearish, bullish. Okay, it's consolidating. I don't think the DXY is going to continue to stay in this range all day. You can see the daily candles showing a lot of indecision. Had nice selling pressure, came all the way back up bullish, and now we're trading virtually where it opens. Okay, so it's a very has a lot of indecision. Okay, so let's watch now. 60 seconds to go. A lot of those initial buyers that bought right at the open, they've been exhausted. Like it's coming down. If I was a buyer, right, my stop loss is down here. It would be maybe below that block. Okay, so think as a buyer as well. And if you're a seller, your stop loss is maybe above structure here. So, both sides want to target where the stops are. But you got to also respect these point of control zones. So far we found a neckline. When you're looking for pattern moves, you got your big move up, you got your coming down to the neckline. So it could come right back up, test this, lower high. It could come all the way up there and be a double top and then push back down. But we still got to break this block here. That's the block you got to break. It's not breaking right now. So you got to look for closing volume below there so you can flip it green to red and then drop. So you still got to be patient with it. If you want to entertain a buy, you can test the buy and see if it will move back up. If you're still waiting, I'm waiting. It's still news was released. It pumped up. It got retraced right back down. We closed with some good bullish volume inverted hammer. Again, this bar opened ignited right on top of the green zone. So this candle, it should try to fill that wick and break for a new high. Look how quickly the sellers slammed it down. Okay, so now it could break there for a new low. This could be an impulse trade, right? You can take an impulse on that if you like. If you don't, you got to wait it out. I know it's 4 minutes and 30 seconds. This is the first 30 seconds. It looks fantastic to take a sell, but if you have rules and discipline and you don't want to get faked out, you got to say right now, I'm not taking an impulse. I'm going to wait for this full body to close. You might even see it move impulsively for 10, 15, 20 pips, like be a bearish candle, break and just drop like that. And that's an impulse, okay? It could just come down there, catch a wick and go right back up, close above here, and then come after you for your stop loss, okay? They like to fake out. That's what a fake out is. So how do we not get faked out of the markets? Is waiting for this entire 5-minute candle to close. I know it sucks because you're looking at the time and there's 3 minutes and 45 seconds to go, and it's built for a 3-bar breakdown. The only other option that you can do is we can break this 5-minute candle down into single 1-minute bars right here. So this 1-minute candle is going to close in 30 seconds. We could physically see a 1-minute candle break and close below there. That's the only other option, guys, right? If you don't want to watch a 1-minute candle close below there, then you got to wait for that full 5-minute body, okay? And this will teach you discipline. This will teach you not to trade impulse candles because impulse candles have a high probability of faking you out. So you got to have rules when you're trading, guys. You have to have rules and you got to stick by your rules. If you keep changing your rules every single day, today I'm going to try an impulse, tomorrow I'm going to wait, next day impulse, next day, you're just going to confuse yourself. And yes, if you miss out on an impulse, you miss out on one impulse trade. That's fine. It's not the end of the world. Just stay disciplined. That's what I tell myself every day. That's what gets me every single day is just keep telling myself, I might miss out on an impulse. That's fine. But what happens like the other day when I did take that impulse and then I got stopped out? So you've got to take the pros, the cons, everything, weigh them out. It's always best practice to wait for bodies to close. That's it. I don't think we can have a debate on that. It's always best practice to wait. When the body officially closes, then we can see how low it went, we can see how high it went, we can see where it opened and where it exactly closed. Those are facts. When we do it on impulse, we have no idea. See how it came down? That was an impulse break. Like, look, it took out that low. Maybe some sellers sold that. And now, look at it coming right back up. So those sellers who sold that impulse are in drawdown currently with 1 minute and 45 seconds to go. Will it come back down there? Possibly. This candle could also flip as a hammer and start its next leg up and trapped all those sellers there, right? I know it sucks on a live situation, guys. You guys want me to say, I'm buying, I'm selling, I'm doing this, I'm doing that. But this is live trading. If I'm waiting for a body to close, I'm waiting for the body to close. I don't want to just take an impulse just for excitement here. I'm trading my own capital. I mean, I don't want to just lose money for likes on YouTube. Now look at, okay, so you remember that candle came all the way up there. So we got a lot of sellers up here at the point of control, pushing it back down. Now watch, now we got 60 seconds. Now we have a lot of bottom heavy volume trading near the low. This one might in fact close below. And then we have another rule to do. If this bearish candle closes below this green zone, we're going to flip our green zone red momentarily because it might represent offers. It might represent more sellers, and then maybe buyers will buy into it, and then it gets rejected. Then we can sell a confirmed retest on a pullback. Okay, lots of things to consider. Oh shit, and it's 9 a.m. guys. Okay, another thing. Yeah, I didn't even look at that. I thought it was 8:55. It's in 20 seconds we're going to get a new hourly candle, 9 a.m. So this is an hourly switch up. Okay, so you have a new hourly candle coming in the market now. This is not like 1 minute traders. It's not 5. This is hourly, 60-minute traders that are watching hourly timeframes. So this could change the entire momentum of what's happening here. So here it is, ignited drop. We did not close below there technically. Again, I cannot change the color of that zone according to my rules until we close officially below there with some volume. Now it's coming back up. So this is where, if you're going to take an impulse, you're trading with the 9 a.m. momentum. Okay, so things like this, you gotta maybe understand intuition. What time is it? So it did break, it came down there, come back up. It's still blue. Now we're barcoding. Bearish, bullish, bearish, bullish. Will it make a lower high and continue, come back down? Or wait for the body to close. It might close bullish up here, and then you got your next leg back, going back up. You can be in a buy. It might close back down there, and then you got your next leg going back down. But you notice how it's accumulating right in that green zone, and now it's coming right back up bullish. Guys, I would love to sit with gold all day, the rest of the day, and continue to follow this volume, and you could learn from it. But I'm going to trust that you guys can continue with this because we got work to do on NASDAQ and US30. I'll stick with this candle 5 more minutes, and at 9:05, we have to move over to do NASDAQ and US30 because those are going to take us at least 10 minutes each. So then that will bring us to 9:15, then 9:25, and then we got 5 more minutes till Wall Street market opens. So these sessions are busy, but we gotta continue sticking with the plan. Okay, so you see, guys, any one of these candles, if you went in on a sell, it was impulse. Okay, but you can still wait on the sidelines and watch. That candle came all the way back up. They rejected it. Where? It's lower. Now look at how it's coming down. So the candle can tell you a lot. Again, you can go into the 1 minutes to clearly see. There was that 1 minute where they kind of faked out, came back up. Now they're pushing it back down. Will the 1 minute candles come back down, close below there, or are they going to hold and stay up here? And we could see a bullish move coming back up. Again, both sides are trading in here, buyers and sellers. You can see the accumulation. It's not going to stay in here all day. Gold is eventually going to make either a move going back up or it's going to sell below here. It's hard to say because it's barcoding. Bearish, bullish, bearish, bullish. Carlos, what's going on, brother? Welcome. Hope all is good. Okay, so like I said, we're going to wait for this to close. No, Jitendra, I have not taken a trade today. Not yet, not yet. I'm itching to trade. Believe me, I got ants in my pants over here. I want to get into a trade, but you know, you got to be patient. You got to be disciplined. You got to let the trade come to you. Maybe we'll catch a trade at Wall Street with index. Okay, but Samuel, we were talking about this block, you know, if you were buying, right? So it's showing buyers are in that block. How big is the move so far? You're looking about almost 40 pips coming out of there. Okay, I know it's a lot of people want 100 pip moves, but sometimes lower time frames have smaller moves. But if it builds, Samuel, like if you get bullish volume closing like above this red line, then it could continue to build a little bit of support. That red line might turn to resistance right now, support after. Maybe we'll break that daily position and then trading right back up to there, you know. But guys, I trade candle by candle. You know what I mean? And I watch the levels and I watch the patterns. I watch impulse moves. I look for clues on candles. All of these things. I consider a lot prior to taking a trade. I know I'm a scalper, and scalping, it can be easy because you just look for one candle. But no, sometimes it takes a whole bunch of candles to get you in even one individual trade. Like it might take, if I'm watching the 1 minute candles, it might take me 15 1 minute candles, and that represents one 15-minute candle to see where maybe my next scalp is going to be for the next 2-3 candles. But that's the patience it takes. I could scalp every single one of these candles if I wanted on, just like you could. But there's some candles and patterns that are better, higher probabilities than others. Okay. Guys, I'll revisit this later on. You know, I can set an alert at this yellow line. Maybe if I get alerted, I'll come back to this. So I just set an alert here at 33.80, this yellow line. Sellers bring it back down there. I'll get an alert. Maybe we'll break down. But if it comes down there, it could still hold, maybe create a second bottom. This is maybe a first bottom coming up, second bottom, and then go back up. But I'm going to move off of gold. Unfortunately, I didn't find a suitable setup to get in on today. I apologize, guys, but trying to be disciplined with you guys. Yeah, I know we could have taken a couple trades here and there, but news released and we're just trading based off of the news. So some days it happens, you know. I can't just trade everything and just hope for the best. Some days you gotta wait. You guys gotta learn that as well, just like me. Okay. Let's shift focus now over to US30 and NASDAQ. Okay. This is how it looks on the 5 minutes. I'm gonna do a top down. I'll try and do a little bit faster. Normally I'm explaining a lot on the top downs. I'm going to try going a little faster and see if you guys are following with me. If you see that there's things that you don't know what I'm talking about, then just watch a previous one of our live videos. We do this every single time. You know, you can speed it up to 2x where I'll talk even faster than what I'm talking, but you'll get a good analysis. Okay, so just follow with me. And if you're new and you don't follow what I'm saying, you're not going to learn this all right now on this call. Okay, it takes time, but just look at what I'm doing. I'm looking on the daily. I'm looking at each one of these represents a daily candle. Look, I'm looking all the way back to 2024, November, December. Probably asking, what the hell is this guy looking all the way back there for? Because I want to show you, we hit an all-time high here back in November, December of 2024. And you see, if you made a red zone and you stretched it into the future, you would have been possibly prepared for February of the new year where it made a double top and went back down. Now, again, let's get us situated with that red zone. Look, it came in here early July, and what were the results? It went back down. We came in here again, end of July, early August, and push back down. So stretch that big red zone block in the future, okay? Now, can we find a green block to kind of complement? What I've been doing for the longest time now is I've been concentrating on those two equal low daily wicks right there. So I've been making a green zone in there because it came down in there and went back up, came down in there, went back up. If you stretch it into the future, you can see that bear's body closed below. Look at when it came back up. That's a red zone and dropped. Okay, so I'm going to make it red. I'm not colorblind, guys, but I want to talk faster. So sometimes when I tell you it's green and it's red, I'm not colorblind. I'm just showing you right there, it's green, right? It came down in there, it stopped. I don't want to always just keep flip-flopping green to red because we're losing time doing this. I assume that you guys understand what I'm doing, okay? So you see how it's green. Again, stretching that same zone into the future, I can see that we kind of had a daily fake out. When? Last Friday. NFP. They closed it down there, maybe trapped some sellers selling into the weekend, and look at how Monday opened up strong bullish. So that's a fake out, you know? Yes, it did close below there, but the next day, these sellers should have been waiting for the retest when it came in there. If it got rejected, then you sell with a retest confirmation. These sellers on Friday had a little bit of ants in their pants, and they went in and over the weekend, and they got in heavy drawdown right now if they're not squeezed out of the market. Okay, so stretch those zones into the future. Now let's start to dissect. Like, I don't have to do all the way. Like, I see that there's a block down here, there's a block down there, one down there. I don't think US30 is going to drop all the way like this. We're not going to have a market crash today unless something significant happens in the market. Maybe Donald Trump farts when he's on his presidential talking. He's talking at 4 p.m. today. You never know. Maybe he'll fart and and that tanks the market. Who knows? I've seen worse in my day. You never know what's going to come out of that guy's mouth or ass. And it will affect the markets. Okay, guys, I'm just playing. But right here, you see, we had a nice weekly push down, okay? A lot of bears were saying that's it. It's doomsday. It's apocalyptic. The markets are going to crash. That's a pullback, okay? That's a natural pullback. It tested this green block. They did break it below. It did initially close, but look at the response. They gapped it down, gobbled it all back up, and it closed engulfed over here. It also retested in there, and the buyers are there. It also retested yesterday, higher low. It came down today, higher low. We're making higher highs. We could continue to move up bullish. So let's now kind of look at some points of interest this week. Where did we close on that huge bullish Monday? It closed right at the high. There's no wick, okay? So these are those crazy daily candles that close right at the high, right into the close. That's a yellow line, point of interest, 44,285. And next day, it did open bullish. It did break out, but then it came all the way back down into there. So you can see we retested all the way back into there. If you grab your Fibonacci tool real quick, from that opening of that big daily engulfing candle, look at, there's exactly 50% right there. There's your point of control. Look how it came in, back up, came in, back up, guys. This is a daily candle. We can do this on a 4-hour, on an hourly, on a 15-minute, on a 5-minute, on a 1-minute, on a 30-second. Doesn't matter. All candlesticks have the same characteristics. That's why body analysis is very important. That was our blog. Last week's blog was wick analysis. Very important, guys. Price action skills can take you to the next level. Believe me, I can attest to that. I will debate anybody over any indicator, over any algorithm, over any HFT, any robot that can trade. Price action is king. I'll trade any robot live. I don't give a shit because it will not read what I'm reading as quick as me. I'm going to say that with confidence. I can go down to the 5-second candles and I can still pinpoint where's 50% of that 5-second candle, where the high, the lows are, where it creates support, where it's got resistance zones. It doesn't matter because I don't even need to look at this time frame. I just see bodies and I know what I'm looking for, as you guys will be learning too. Why am I not using Bookmap? Because I don't need Bookmap. I don't need it. That's the honest truth. I was using Bookmap. It's just another deeper level analysis. It's confusing. It's more advanced for most traders. And then I got to sit and explain concepts that are too advanced for some traders, okay? What are icebergs? What are hidden orders? All of these things. I will bring a depth of market back for you guys, and I will show you guys how it complements with price action. And you guys will see for yourselves what you guys like better. It's up to you, okay? Footprint charting, yeah, it's the same shit, Danny. Same shit, different day. It's all the same stuff. Like you can, if you really want to learn what's going on inside this candle body, look at your footprints. It will tell you the exact order of everything. You'll see the point of control. You'll see exactly when I'm telling you guys. It's 50% of a body of candle. You'll see a footprint 50%, and you'll see the bids and the ask, and you'll see who's winning the delta volume. I'm trying to save you guys a lot of time and money by buying these advanced platforms. But yeah, Carlos, same shit, different flies. That's how it is. Sorry guys for talking like this, but I got to talk a little bit faster. Okay, so point of interest. That was resistance. We got volume above it. So if we come all the way back down to this yellow line, we might find some support there. Do we have other support in the market below us? Yes. Where? Look at the bodies, where they close and where they open. Very simple, right there. Body closed, body open, look at the retest. How can we not acknowledge this area, 44,150, as a point of interest? If you don't, that's up to you. How can we not acknowledge exactly 50% of this block right there? If you don't, that's up to you. That's 44,980, give or take 44,000, psychological number. I can see when it came in there, higher low, higher low, higher low. So we are pushing up. We got higher highs above us too. How can we not acknowledge yesterday's high? Okay, if you don't, that's up to you. I do. Okay, I'm not saying you got to do exactly what I'm doing, but how can you not pay attention to yesterday's high? It's fresh in the market. Don't you want to know where yesterday's high is? If we come back down there, it might be support from those buyers who were buying. Maybe they're adding orders, supporting their move. They could be adding positions. Just think logically, guys. Okay, so let's follow today's volume. Let's follow yesterday. We opened. It was initially bearish, higher low, came back to the opening. We pushed, we broke out, we made a new weekly high. It got rejected. We closed with some bullish volume. Today, transitional open. I could have another yellow line here, but someone will say, Ron, you got too many lines, but I don't care. Right there, it's important. We closed there and we opened there for a reason, 44,217. I don't see any gap downs, gap ups. When we opened, it was originally bearish. See that yellow line? It's my purple line now. Look at today's purple low. It's equal with those supporting areas. We had our buyers come up. We didn't break our depth of markets, making a higher low. We came back to the opening position. Look at the bullish volume today. We broke out of there. We filled even yesterday's high wick. We broke above it. We've almost engulfed that entire bearish candle right here on month end, Thursday, July 31st. Today is going to be a very important closing day on Dow. There's our high. Look at the psychological number, 44,502 and 75 cents. It dropped down. Okay, so far there is a little bit of selling pressure, but we're going into Wall Street in 15 minutes. Still got this bullish volume. We could definitely come test the high and break out. And if we do, where are we going? Are we going to go all the way to the all-time high supply? Possibly, maybe, but I take it one level at a time. How can we not acknowledge this level? If you look back, there was a wick there, a body closed, body open, a wick, a wick, a wick. We got volume above. It turned to support right there. Then it's body to body. Like just place a yellow line and just watch it today. See if it fills up there. If it does, it could even fill more. Where? Backfill that wick. Backfill that wick. 50% of that candle, body to body right there. Body, body, wick. I could continue to do this all the way up. One zone you have to acknowledge is 50% of that supply zone. You could do exactly at 50%, or you lower it where we've got one body, two body, three body, four body. Okay. All the way up there. Look at the number, 44,925. Okay, those numbers. Now when I look at what's going on, we have a big bullish daily candle. It's pushing up. Yes, if we retrace down. So if it comes down, this could be a supporting level. I could look to buy off of this. If it comes all the way down there, I could look to buy off of that. If it comes back to the opening position, I could look to buy off of that. If the sellers absorb all of that, they're going to flip the candle. It's going to go bearish, and we're pushing down into here. So it is bullish right now. When I'm looking at patterns, okay, what do we see? What do you see? You see the big weekly leg come down, gobbled right back up. So we're trading at a neckline, like half of that bearish leg coming down right in here. It might pull back. We might actually break out of this today, continue going up this week like this, testing those all-time highs. Very bullish today, okay? Let's go into the 1 hour now. Look at it. So kind of walking up. When? Since London, 3 a.m. Look at how long those hourly candles accumulated in there. And now they're redistributing it to the upside. Started London, 3 a.m., 4 a.m., 5 a.m., Now we hit our high of the day at 6 a.m. Slowly it's been coming down where it's kind of consolidating again here. This could be creating a double top on the hourly. Came up to the highest point of the day. There's my hourly neckline. I'm going to draw a white line there in just a moment. Now I see it coming back up. So Wall Street, are we going to break the high of the day? Is it going to come up exactly to the high of the day? Is it going to be a lower high? Are they going to bring it down? There's your double top. But you got to continue to absorb that big bullish ignited hourly candle. Break the neckline. Maybe do something like that to drop. If not, today is a buying day. Look at it, how bullish it is. Right there, there's my hourly support in the last few hours, white line. It came down there, closed right there. Impulsively broke down, came back up, spin top candle, closed right above the white line. We opened bullish, ignited, and we're still pushing up. For myself as a scalper, I got hourly resistance right here. So I got another white line. This is where I'm really trapping the volume. Right there, body, wick, body, body. So all I have is impulse wicks above us. If we can close above here, maybe Wall Street, we're continuing to drive for a new high. If we break above this purple line, there's my next daily position. But what I could do if I'm an hourly trader, read the tape. Purple to yellow, go back. Look at how the hourly traders were trading in here. It came down, back up, came down, back up. How can you not acknowledge this area right around here where it came down, back up, came down, back up, it's showing support, and then over here it's showing support, and then that could be resistance now in the market above us. Just mark it. You could go exactly 50% if you want from purple to yellow tape. I'm keeping it consistent with what the price action has been doing. So you see it coming right back up. Let's go into the 5 minutes now because I got to really go faster. Okay, so look at the big bullish move. There was a nice pullback. So you see, at that hourly level below, you can gather up all of that volume like that, and maybe you can draw your 5 minute demand zone. If it ever comes back down into here, we could be looking to buy a pullback inside here. If it comes back down in here, maybe we're buying out of there. If it closes below there, we could be selling that block, okay? But right now, it's moving back up to the highest point of the day. If you look on the 5 minutes, look at the tweezer top highs right up there. Go down to the bodies. I can see where they've lowered the resistance right down to there. Okay, so we're driving into this, into Wall Street. We'll see if we break out, maybe a false breakout. Maybe they reject it back down. Maybe Wall Street, we close above here. We're retesting this and we're driving. Okay, could be one of those big bullish days. Adding daily bar indicator. Look at it. Okay, there's what I just talked about. Opening price, 6 p.m. opened over there. We had that brief low right over there. There's the 6 p.m. open, 1800. There was the lowest point of the day. And since then, made a higher high. Came back, retested this. Was resistance there, turned to support. See, double top resistance. We were just trading inside here. It did close above when? 355, going into 4 a.m. There's your retest. Continue push. We're holding 50% of that big bullish candle. 4 a.m. Continuing to push, closing above, grabbing the daily high, 620, dropping back down, holding this box. We're inside here. So this is how it's moving right now. Very bullish. We're near the highest point of the day going into Wall Street in the next 10 minutes. Okay, so I really have to do NASDAQ faster. So NASDAQ, I'm just going to do a different type of analysis. I'm going to just go to NASDAQ right here. Here are the 5 minutes, very similar to US30. Like if I was to mirror these, they look pretty much identical. Let's just add the daily bar indicator. This is a different type of analysis. I can see my opening price now. This is why this daily bar indicator it's gold. When you're doing a quick analysis like this, I know exactly where we opened up. I can go back to 1800. I can see exactly where we opened up. I can see right there opened. I can see the lowest point of the day. I can tell by the wick right there. I got my levels, numbers beside me. Purple low. What was the response? We came back up to the opening position, driving bullish all the way right there. I can see the highest point of the day, 7 a.m. Eastern, and it's dropped down. Okay, I can see right now it's pushing down. But now what I can see, what's cool about this is I can see 5 minute structure. And just try, guys, smoke some weed. Do what you got to do. You'll see these structural levels that I'm looking at. And if you can't see this, I don't know what to tell you. Okay, just look right here. When we pushed up, that pullback right there. Okay, forget about the color of the box right now. I'm just going to do everything in neutral. I just want you guys to see this. Okay, see when we came up, it went back down. We broke through that, so it closed above. We retested it back up. See when it came back in here? Back up. So just stretch it into the future, okay? It almost came back in there, but higher low and went back up. So don't stop with that. Stretch it into the future. And just, is the volume above us? Yes, easy. Go green. So if it ever pulls back, if I get a whole daily pullback in there, you better believe I'm going to buy the fuck out of that because it's right near the opening position. I guarantee you there's a shit ton of big buyers waiting in there to buy that patient pullback. Me as a scalper, I'm just looking to buy a pullback up here. If I can get that, holy shit, you better believe I'm going to buy that on a discount. And I'll probably go bigger sizing down there because it's been tested. It's building, it's getting stronger, right? That's one. There's another one right here where we pushed up right there. Okay, I'll make it neutral so you guys see. Don't worry about the color of the zone. Just look. It came up there. It pivoted. It stopped. Just tell yourself, where did the market stop? Right there it stopped. And then it went all the way back down. Stretch that into the future. You see again how it came right in there and what happened? It went back down. Again, it came now above there. We got closing volume above there. So it's got to be a green zone. Stretch that one into the future. That one is exactly at 50% of the current volume. If I grab my Fibonacci tool from the opening price to where we are right now, look, 0.5, guys, right there, that zone. There's your optimal zone to buy any pullback today, right there. You could even make it a bigger zone, your point of control right there. You see what I'm doing, guys? Okay. When the chef is cooking, you let the man cook. You see, Carlos, I see you're dialed in, bro. I see you. Right there, Carlos. If you get a nice pullback, and I know you love selling the markets, but you could sell down to there. But when you come in here, you gotta, you know, as much as a bear you are, you gotta respect that there could be a big buyers waiting in there. You know, like even if we're short selling, if I'm a seller and I'm selling in there, I gotta understand that buyers could just take me right back up, right? So I wanna sell into where the buyers are, get my money, get out of the markets because they could bring it right back up. If we close below here, that's a different story. We'll have a different conversation, but you really have to watch that area, okay? And then there's another one. We just had a most recent pullback from the daily high. How can we not acknowledge this area and stretch that block into the future? You see how this block is holding above here. So it's still, we might be breaking out for a daily high going into Wall Street, but also let's watch for a fake out. So those are the zones. That's what there is to watch for, okay? I know I did that one differently, a little bit faster, but those are our zones below us. Add your EMA. 9 should be showing up here anytime. Okay, there it is, green EMA, 9. There's my 200. Where's the 200? Look at where the 200 is. Right in that bullseye zone right there, okay? So what I do today is, later on, when I go for my break, I'm gonna place an alert right in that, like a crosshair. We're snipers. That's where you wanna pinpoint that area. It's not to say just go in blind and buy. This is where you gotta pay attention and watch. I put an alert in there. See that? I put an alert. I will get alerted. If the volume comes down there, if I go fishing on the boat, if I go on the jet ski, whatever, I'll get an alert out here and I'll be watching that area. Patience, discipline, let the volume come to you. Don't force anything. But that's the optimal zone to be buying today, right in there, okay? If it comes down there, we might even be pushing up, continue higher, and we might not get that pullback. That might be tomorrow. That might be next week, okay? But now we got to watch all this consolidated shit going into Wall Street. This is not tradable, guys. You know, if you're trying to trade this, I caution you, this is garbage, okay? We do have some levels on the 5 minutes. You can see now there's a little bit of resistance right there. Came up, back down, impulse break to the daily high. They brought it right back down. Again, we retested it. It pushed down. That was a nice little scalp sell down, but then you got to respect this zone. It's coming right back up, but we're still lower than that red line. We're lower than the daily high. So, you know, that's technically a lower high. They could be pushing it down. Let's see if it gets down in here. See what happens. If buyers are there, if it breaks, we could be scalping it down to here. Okay, I'm going to leave NASDAQ like this with these green zones. I'm going to bring it side by side. Holy shit, it's 9:27. See, I lose track of time on these calls, guys. Okay, you guys got to keep me updated with the time so I don't lose focus here. So we got US30 on the left. We got NASDAQ on the right. They look similar, but remember, these are not similar indices. NASDAQ is 60, 70% all tech related. US30 is a whole basket case of all kinds of shit going on in the US economy. Oil and energy, you got agriculture, you got finance, you got some tech, you got big box retail stores, you got a whole bunch of everything going on in here, okay? Just looking at gold real quick. Okay, so gold did not break. It came back down, and see how it's building now back up. We might see a double top and then drop. Here, place an alert right here, 33.80. That's what I would be watching to see if this breaks today. I still have my alert there. You could be looking for sells below there. However, you could be buying. Every time it pulls back in here, it's still holding. You could be buying that, okay, on gold. US dollar right here, DXY, is very clumpy. Okay, so let's watch heading in. Do we have any news real quick? Let's just go over the news really fast. 9:30, we have nothing. 10 a.m., we'll walk into some USD low impact news. And FOMC member Bostic is speaking at 10 a.m. Okay, no real big high impact news. Just later today, pay attention to 1 o'clock. We have our 30-year bond auction, and then President Trump speaking when market closes, you know, in the after hours. And then we have our after hours earnings. Okay, guys, so let's watch now. Okay, so you see a big bearish candle coming down now with 90 seconds to go into the open. Okay. Guys, hit the likes on YouTube. We're going into Wall Street. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't. Hit the notifications, because sometimes Roger shuts my system down when I give too much nuggets online for the world, and then YouTube kind of comes in and says, hey, Ron, we're listening to you. You said some shit about Donald Trump farting, so we shut your system down. And then don't worry, I'll figure it out again. I'll get it back up and running, but make sure you guys are notified. They don't like when I talk about Donald Trump. They want me to come on here and praise Mr. Trump. I don't give a fuck about Mr. Trump. Mr. Trump doesn't pay my bills. Okay? Mr. Trump doesn't sit on this fucking chair 10 hours a day and grind like I do. So fuck Mr. Trump. Okay? I'll probably get shut down again, guys, if I do hit that notification bell. Okay, let's watch. Carlos, what are you looking for, boss? Are you looking to break down today? It's developing a nice little double top up here. Pump and rejection. Okay, let's see, guys. Remember, have rules, okay? Check your spreads. Make sure you don't make any silly mistakes. Pick your security, either Dow or NASDAQ. Wait 5 minutes if you have to. Yeah, you might miss out on a little scalp here and there, but wait for 5 minutes if you have to. I'm going to wait for the full 5-minute body to close, okay? So NASDAQ opened ignited, pushing down. Did it tap into this green zone? No, it's got a higher low. Will it flip? US30 opened, came right back up to here. So again, it's just in this area, still accumulating in here. Yep, we have that long on gold at 44,500. So right above here, okay, is a signal for maybe a buy. So we'll watch and see if we get some closing volume above here for US30. Guys, that Eris, that gold mining company, hit a 52-week high. It's trading at $11.12. They're up 15% this month. Again, gold is pushing up, so gold miners. And they have their earnings at 4 p.m. In the after hours. So just consider that if you're in that trade. I'm in it too, but I might be scaling out going into that earnings. But they might have really good earnings now because of gold the last 3 months. So just keep an eye on that one as well, guys. Okay, see, there's a little bit of indecision on US30. Came up, came back down, traded in that green box, coming back up to the opening price. Okay, so we have still 2 minutes and 45 seconds go. NASDAQ is showing some indecision as well. Okay, so no big significant move, just indecision. It looks like any other candle. I know it's Wall Street market open and it's exciting, but NASDAQ looks like how it is trading as if there was no Wall Street market open. Okay, so here we go on now, US30. Nice push. Okay, so it broke the daily high. We're looking for buys above 500, this level. So that's an impulse. Let's see if we get closing volume, because it could just come up there, peek its head, get rejected, and come back down. Okay, if it continues to break, we'll see how high it will break. Okay, now you got NASDAQ pushing up. We can take a look at so far some gainers in the pre-market right now. The market is open. The big names that we get, AMD is up 3.5%. Micron up 4.5%. These are tech names. NVIDIA up 1.5%, $182 a share. Some bigger names. Apple is up 2.35%. Go Apple, almost $220 a share, almost at all-time high. SoFi up 3%. What else we got going on? Okay, so good moves so far in the pre-market. We had US30 break for a new daily high, rejected, coming back down. So lots of range. When you look at the opening range of the first 5 minutes so far, you're looking at an opening range on Dow of 112 pips. That's a lot, okay? Even NASDAQ, its opening range is 50 pips approximately so far, okay? Where will it close relative to the highest point of the day? We'll figure it out in 30 seconds. Duolingo is up 34%, Gizmo. Oh my God, my daughter uses that. She's learning Italian right now. So I swear, I gotta invest in whatever my daughter's using. She was using Roblox. Roblox is a publicly traded company. Duolingo. Our kids are smart, guys. We gotta invest in what they're using. Okay, so look at US30. Came up there, closed right below the red zone. So I cannot, make it green according to my rules. I can't. So it's still representing red coming back down. Will it pick up a higher low at this hourly point of interest, maybe the 90 MA, maybe possibly come back up? If it does flip and go back up, it's an impulse break. So you got to ask yourself, do you feel comfortable taking an impulse trade? Maybe because it's Wall Street market open, it has more volume, it might impulsively move through there. But if you have rules and you're waiting for bodies to close, unfortunately, you got to wait for the body to close. Yeah, I read AMD is up 3%. I saw that. Yeah, it's trading at $167 a share. You guys remember when AMD was $100 and we're telling you guys on that big drop, 20-30% in the red, don't be scared. You should be buying when there's fear in the streets. If it's a good sound security and it's not a shit pump and dump, if you believe in tech and the future, AI and chips and all of that, right? Yeah, NVIDIA and Apple are making the day. Yep. If you guys remember, while all the top 6 securities were running all-time highs, Apple was accumulating at around $190. People were sleeping on Apple, but it was coiling up, and now they're redistributing. Every security has its time. I love Apple, okay? I'm always buying dips on Apple. I don't think Apple's going to go bankrupt anytime soon in my lifetime, so it's my retirement holding. Who knows? Maybe Apple goes bankrupt. I don't know, but I don't think it's going to happen. Okay, look at the big bearish candle now coming down. So far, all of that buying volume in the first 5 minutes did break out for that high. Okay, could have swept the liquidity up there. And now look at the response by the sellers coming all the way back down, bearish engulfing. Okay, so I'm not looking for a buy above here because there was no closing volume. NASDAQ looks like it's a disaster right now. It's still barcoding, bearish, bullish, bearish with it. So guys, this is not a great Wall Street market open. Okay, you got to continue to wait it out. Maybe things will open up at 9:45, 10 a.m., 10:30, 11. If you feel like you want to trade this, I would go small. I would speculate. So if you get stopped out, like if you're in a buy, you get stopped out, or if you're in a sell and it goes, you can easily get rid of it and refocus without getting mad, over leveraging, hedge trading, revenge trading, all of those things that cause a disaster. Okay, look at that big bearish engulfing candle coming back down, back into this green zone. So let's see if these buyers are for real in this green zone, holding this. Guys, I hate when volume trades like this because it makes for a shitty stream, but this is how the market is open. I would love if it was just bullish and breaking out of here and we're buying pullbacks, but this is what's happening, okay? Look at like the US dollar. Look at DXY. It's just really consolidated. Gold is making a nice move, coming back up, okay? And this is going to close in a minute and 20 seconds, okay? Double top on gold. Adel, yep, it's getting up there. Double top, we'll see. And Drill, thank you. I appreciate you, bro. Okay, guys. How are your spreads now? Have spreads calmed down a little bit? Okay, so NASDAQ came all the way back down, higher low, still diverging away from this green box, coming back up. So let's see if it can, number one, close above this red line, because that's where it kind of got rejected, those bodies. That was that impulse that broke out at 7 a.m. That caused the daily high. And then when it came back, got rejected, came back in, there was resistance, pushed back down. So let's see if we can get a first NASDAQ body closing above this red line. Maybe it might have closed above the daily high, okay? And then if we're looking for pullbacks, I can see a zone. I can see a zone from the red line, bring it down to those bodies, and that could be a zone to buy a quick little pullback if we do get closing volume for NASDAQ, okay? Okay, so it did close above there. It's ignited. It's closing with no upper wick, right? So this is where you could get that firecracker, where it's opening ignited to take out the highest point of the day. It could break out and then get rejected back down. So if you're waiting for a pullback in this green zone, I would be waiting somewhere in there. I know that the NASDAQ can take off without you. I understand that. If you want, you can buy this candle right now. But if you want to wait, what we've been talking about the entire call is a pullback back down to here to go back up. And you might miss it. Welcome to the world of trading. This is the hardest part of trading, is watching a bullish ignited candle pop and drive. But maybe we'll come back down in the next 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 15 minutes, 30 minutes. But when it comes down, that's the first line of support right there. This is a better buying area, right? The deeper we go down, the better. Look at now how it got rejected. And now it's a bearish candle coming down, okay? So had you bought that, maybe it was a position where it moved up 15 pips and you didn't do anything. Now it could come back down. If there's traders like myself who are still waiting, I'm waiting for it to come in here, waiting for it to come a little lower inside here, but I might miss out on an impulse break, okay? That's life. It happens. What are you going to do about it? If you want to go in, on that pullback, you could have gone back in on that candle. There's no point in having rules and discipline if you're not going to follow it. It's that easy, guys. Like, if you're going to want to wait for, you guys say, I want to learn patience, I want to learn discipline, this is how you have to learn it. I know it sucks. Believe me, it's the worst thing. For me, I'm dying inside because I'm a scalper. And I love scalping 1 minute candles. Like if I was on the 1 minutes, something like that, like a sell like that right there, that bar coming down, retesting right there, that bearish candle, I'm in on that sell on that 1 minute candle just for those 2 minutes, riding that down for 30, 40, 50 pips. When it comes like scalper's paradise on the 1 minutes, but some traders are not ready for that. Okay. Look at now, the big rejection. Now, if you want to buy a pullback, but this looks like a shooting star candle that could close below and they fake out the high. Okay. Like they took out the liquidity coming back down. What if it closes below that block and then does this? That's why do you want to buy now? Right in there. If you want, there's your retest. Okay. Test it out with a small buy. Just test it out. See how it feels to get into a trade. Test it out. You're buying a pullback now, but that's a shooting star candle that they slammed down from the highest point of the day. That's a different type of candle. Okay, so I'm not looking to buy. That's a heavy candle. Okay, this is where they could double top, fake out those buyers up there, and smash this shit down. I'm waiting for this bar to close because we're going into 9:45. Look at your 15-minute candle. Might show you a different picture. Look at that now. This is a 15-minute bar open from Wall Street. Came up there, took out the liquidity of the high of the day, and now it's coming down as a bear shooting star. It might close below here, maybe push back down, unless the buyers can hold it up and bring it back up. Same with NASDAQ. Remember, we opened, it was bearish, came all the way back up. It was really bullish, just took out that high of the day, and now they're slamming it back down. If it closes below this block, that's a red block, might push down. The volume is still concentrated in this zones here. So, guys, it's tough to trade this stuff right now. But sitting on the sidelines, I'm observing, I'm watching. Sometimes, guys, Wall Street is one of the most difficult exchanges to trade. There's a lot of volume going on. There's a lot going on. So it's not easy. If you're a beginner, I would not recommend trading Wall Street market open as a beginner. Okay, this takes experience, takes a lot of watching how markets open, close, fake outs, all of this stuff. Okay, so look at the indecision. It came back down. We've got 3 wicks coming down in here, back up, come down in here, back up, come down in here, back up. Okay, so there's still buyers present here, but we saw a lot of selling pressure when it just took out the high of the day. We're still trading inside this zone. There's no real trend as of yet still. So it's yesterday was a tough market as well. So let's wait for this close. But the selling volume is pushing down. Okay, you see that hourly white line? Now it's our resistance. You see that retest tested that white line and pushing back down. Okay, so this is now a red box right here. That 5-minute candle swept the high and pushing down. Okay, so this is very bearish now. Okay, so are they going to take out that low, or is it going to be a tweezer bottom low, equal low, right there? Right there. See that? Okay. Will they take it out? Will they respect it? Also for NASDAQ, you got that low right there. That was trading in the green box right there. Let's keep an eye on that, 23,482. And let's watch, okay, right there. So I'm watching US30, guys. I like this. There's your 200 EMA if it breaks. Some of you guys use that as a gauge. Remember what I was saying? That could be a good buying opportunity in there. Okay, we'll see if it plays out. So will this 5-minute body be the body that closes below here? Right now, this is a new 15-minute candle. So you see the 15 just opened. There's still 13 minutes to go on it, lots of time. But I watched the 5 minutes. You can watch the 3 minutes. You can go even into the 1 minutes. Okay, so it did create new lower low. This is that M pattern, right? Some of you guys are familiar with this. There's the one top. There's the neckline. There's the second top with the liquidity grab at the highest point of the day. Now they're breaking it down. Okay, this is an impulse breaking down. Where will the body close? Then maybe this green to red, maybe we'll sell a pullback, right? If it closes down here. And no, and you guys got to wait 3 more minutes for this bar to close. If not, go into your singles and watch your 1 minute. There was the 1 minute candle that closed below. It came in retested. You could have been in a sell right there, but I'm waiting for full 5 minutes. I did that mistake yesterday of going in the 1 minutes. I know I learned from it. I don't want to do that mistake again. Okay, look at NASDAQ. It came all the way down there, took out that low, got a good rejection coming back up. Where will that closing volume end up? There's still half the candle to go. 2.5 minutes to go is a long time. Are we still okay, guys? Everyone still good? I know some of you guys might be in trades. That's fine. Okay, look at it now. Coming down, there's that 200 EMA. Might find some support, come back up. I'm looking at the closing volume of this candle. If it closes below here, I'm going to change this big green zone to a red zone. It might represent where the offers are currently located in the market or piling up in there in the depth of market, being added, pending in the market, waiting to get filled, right? Yeah, gold is still pushing higher highs. Okay, even retracements, 50% there. Continue to watch that if you're on gold. Okay, we're watching the indices over here. I personally like to trade US30 over NASDAQ. Okay, that's just me personally. Okay, so we have 60 seconds to go. Massive bearish candle. Okay, so this is breaking that structural area. There's your M pattern with the liquidity grab. This is those A+ setups, right? But this is still an impulse break. Got to wait for this candle to officially close. Lee, Carlos was right about the pump and drop. Absolutely. Carlos is dialed in. He's been studying this for years. Carlos didn't learn this yesterday. You know, the guy's been putting in his work. Okay, but let's follow the close. Look at NASDAQ came all the way down. Now it's coming all the way back up. Okay, where will it close? Watch that volume. The volume could still close below that structure and still push down, but it's got a big wick to fill. US30 doesn't have too much of a big wick to fill. Here's the close. I'm going to assume it's going to close below there. Okay, get ready. So closed, right? It could come back up off of that wick. Okay, so it's coming back up with that rejection momentum. And let's see if it can get rejected inside that red zone would be optimal. Could be that yellow line at that daily point of interest. Okay, could even be a lower high rejection like right there. Okay, so it got rejected. I'm going to go into a sell now. It got rejected. I know I could be entering early because it could continue to come back up. But I'm going to set my stop loss above that 5-minute candle, above the red zone. And I'm going to see if it can come back down to the 200 EMA and maybe break down to that daily yellow line down there. And so I'm testing out a sell, but I know it could be an early. It might come back in and then go back down, okay? But it already came up. They rejected it. So I'm looking for that move to continue to penetrate down, sellers to bid down in here. But it has not technically retraced back up to the red zone, okay? So this is my initial sell. If it comes back in there, I might add one more, depending if it holds up. Okay, so when I look back at this, if I do get stopped out or if I do realize some profit, I waited for that body to close. Okay, I see that they grabbed the liquidity at the high of the day. I see that it closed below there. So regardless, if I get stopped out or I make profit, I waited for that body to close, so I'm not making excuses and things like that. Yes, it could come back up. That's one thing I didn't do. I didn't wait for it to come all the way properly into the red zone because it could break when it got rejected, as soon as it shot down like a shooting star candle, it did take out that low. It could have dropped. It didn't. Okay, so it's still holding a higher low and in this sell. And I just placed my stop loss above that 5-minute breaking candle. Okay, so just my stop loss is just about 44,440. I will verbally let you know when I get stopped out. I'll verbally let you know if I scale out. I'll verbally let you know if I close the position. If I don't like what I see, I might even scrap the position early. Okay, so now it's coming back up for the retest right here. Okay, so this is now the official retest. Okay, so remember, it broke. This is the official retest. I went in a little early. That's the official retest. It still hasn't traded into, 50%. I just wanted to move that red line right there. But it retested the daily point of interest. Okay, so far it got rejected, but still has that bullish volume. Okay, so this candle has 2 more minutes to go. Lots can happen in 2 minutes. Yeah, Red, am I going against the signals? Yeah, I understand. So I might have to get out of this or grab a few pips coming down if it goes down, go to a break even and secure. But I'm just going with what I see here. Okay, so there's the initial rejection at the proper retest. Okay, so that was a proper retest. Now, we got to continue to push down to fill that wick to create a new lower low. This is a shooting star candle coming down with 1 minute to go. So it could make those tweezer bottom lows. It could make equal lows. Okay, so there it broke for a new lower low. Okay, so that bearish candle now is driving about 25 pips. Okay, remember Dow moves a little bit. The volume is a little bit bigger in these candles. It moves differently from NASDAQ and things like that. But some scalpers that are looking for 25, 30 pips could reduce their risk if you like. Okay, I'm not. I'm leaving this trade to move at least 50, like down to there, because I see this value gap right over here. I know I could be making a big mistake here, but there's that value gap that hasn't been transacted yet. I'm hoping this Wall Street volume can come down there and transact. See that? There was 2 pullbacks. Those wicks, there's still that little bit of bullish volume still left in that candle from 4 a.m. that caused that big bullish move. So I want to see if Wall Street can kind of retrace down to here. So we closed below that 200 EMA. Now we're pushing down. Now, okay, I'm going down to a break even now. Okay, so I have no risk in this trade now. Yes, I could forfeit my profit if I don't do anything. It's down there's 35 pips. Down to that green box is about 50 pips. Okay, so I'm at a break even now. But I'm gonna try and let this thing run. I could be forfeiting my profit right now, but I'm gonna trust that Wall Street will continue to bring this thing down to mitigate this zone. If it holds with that little tiny wick, this could reverse all the way right back up to retest this red zone, but I don't want to have any more risk in the trade. Fuck, right there. So they just took me out. Okay, you see that? That's what it just me looking for those extra few pips to come into that green zone. You see how it can come up? So I just, no win, no loss. Just, I'm pissed off. Because, man, sometimes those trades, you go too fast to a break even, could come up there, they swiped out my liquidity and it could continue to break down. But you see, guys, what I was looking for, you see that little that zone right there? I was getting greedy for a few more pips to make it an even 50, and I had 40 in the bank and I pissed it away. So that was my stupidity. That was me being dumb and reckless. So that's a break even, but it could definitely continue come back down there. Yes, okay, it just took me out, but that's still lower high. I'm still following the volume for later trading, right? Okay, and NASDAQ is moving up bullish back above here, could be closing strong, okay? So sorry about that, guys. I know a lot of you guys listen for me to say I'm taking profit out and this and that, but I'm not making excuses. I was looking to come down, transact in that green zone, then I was going to take out. But for an extra 10 pips, see how the market kind of slaps you in the face? No, it's got nothing to do with market makers listening. Market maker, no. I'm a nobody. But that's just how things work. That's why when you reduce your risk that fast, sometimes it's going to come back. Remember on the last couple calls, I went down to a break even too fast. And in other times I fixed it by leaving a 5 pip buffer. And when it came up there, then it went down and I realized my profit. So just like that, little moves, but I don't care. As long as my capital is protected, I could look for another trade. As long as I didn't lose any of my money, I'm okay. I still think positively. Yes, I could have done that better at securing profit, but what happens if this actually broke down, and then it was coming down like that, okay? So, but I don't play the woulda, shoulda, coulda game. That's it. I got stopped out at break even. Let's continue moving on with watching the candles. I don't let this rattle me. Some traders, it affects them. I don't. I'm a scalper. I'm used to this. Okay, but look at NASDAQ now. So continuing to break for a new high. When this thing closes in 90 seconds, I'm going to assume it will close above here, this red to green. Again, if you're waiting for a pullback, you could be waiting for a pullback at the previous daily high. Could be support going forward or a deeper pullback into here. Otherwise, you got to watch how it closes. It might be ignited, continue to go, but you're buying the highs. Okay, so yes, you might get a pullback. Also, US30 is coming back up to properly pull back into here. What if it gets rejected back down, could consolidate here, and then US30 starts breaking down bearish? I could be looking for a possible buy also on US30. If it comes through here, closes above here, I'll flip that red to green. I might be buying and continuing to take it, filling back up to today's high wick, maybe right back to that red zone, maybe breakout similar to NASDAQ. Otherwise, you're out of a trade, you're waiting. And we're going into 10 a.m. in 45 seconds. Awesome, Sean. You hit your daily goal today. Congratulations, man. That's it. Get out of the market, Sean. Keep compounding that account, and we'll see you again tomorrow morning. Sherwin, you got on those two 5-minute candles bullish on NQ. Beautiful. Okay. I'll also follow Sherwin. If the volume closes above here, you could be making support levels here and continue to drive up. Second entry buy? No, not on me. I'm out of that trade. Okay. Okay, and get ready, guys. 10 a.m. now. So it did close above that. Okay, just go through the motions. Okay, it opened, ignited, continuing to push. This is still a red zone for US30. Could be trading into it right now. Could be coming down. Maybe found one bottom. Also, guys, if you're looking to buy, maybe a possible double bottom. Okay, came down, created that one bottom, coming back up. If it does come back down, maybe a double bottom, come back up, close above here. You get that nice big bullish push later this morning, later this afternoon, like later after this call. NASDAQ is breaking out. Holy shit. Okay, so it's going, right? If you're not in, I would recommend waiting for a pullback, either at this purple line, you can add an alert. That will be the most recent pullback, but this zone is more optimal right here. Okay, so NASDAQ is tech is strong, okay? Currently, very strong. Gold coming right back down, okay? So it's not going to go up forever. Sometimes there's retracements. Okay, there's another. Okay, there was now the proper retracement in the zone. Okay, so, was there any mistakes? yeah, I sold that candle real early. I could have waited to sell that right there. But this one now properly came into the point of control of that red zone right in the middle. And now it's a bearish engulfing candle. So let's stay with this body of this candle. Will it come all the way back down and engulf this? And then we're going to continue pushing down. NASDAQ, look at the big retracement now. You could be getting a pullback if you're looking for buying, maybe at that green zone. Okay. If it closes below there, it could come back down. I stay with the volume regardless. If I get stopped out, if I hit a break even, if I make some money, I stay with the volume. Okay. I watch each individual 5-minute body. So I see it came back up right into there and it's a bearish engulfing candle coming back down. Will it close below this structure? Will buyers bring it back up? You know, we're barcoding here, bearish, bullish, bearish. You guys are as smart as me. We know that US30 is not just going to continue to trade like this for the remainder of the day. We know that they're accumulating and they're possibly gonna either bear flag it, continue coming down when it properly retested the point in control of that zone. Now it's coming down. So my mistake, maybe going to break even too fast. Maybe if I kept my stop loss or lowered it a little bit, I'd be in the money right now with a bigger selling opportunity. Okay, but shit happens. It's okay. Guys, I trade a little bit different when I'm live trading because I'm always concerned in the back of my head about you guys, because I know you guys, full port. We saw a guy today lose 30% of his entire account, revenge trade. I know, I'm always thinking about you guys, okay? So that's why my main objective as an educator in a live environment, if I go in a trade and I'm out 30, 40, 50 pips, I'm going to break even. It keeps me sane, and hopefully if you guys follow it, then I've done my job, because I know if I'm losing a stop loss, I know if some of you guys it affects me. So regardless, I'm not making excuses, but always, most important thing of trading is protecting your capital. I always say that, and I stand by that. Okay, now I'm waiting for this body to close. So maybe my initial intentions bearish was correct, but I got tapped out too early on the break even. Had I let it breathe a little bit, I'd be in the money. It's all good. Let's watch where it will close. I can follow this shit. It's going to close in 1 minute. Now we're breaking, like, remember that little zone I told you? They filled it now, okay? So will it close below it? We're at that daily yellow position where a lot of buyers are. Will it close below there? Will it come back up? If it comes back up, right there, I could be looking to sell right, I'll tell you where there's a nice little zone. Right below there. I know it's small. There's a lot of volume moving on Wall Street. But right there, okay? Here's the close in 24 seconds. I don't like NASDAQ. When it's trading like this, indecision at the highest point of the day, I kind of stay away from that. That's not for me. This is more for me down in here. Yeah, did I miss out on my daily goal? It happens, guys. Welcome to the world of trading. Okay, just continue going with the flow. Did it close below that green box? Yes. Okay, this could be a short little pullback, reject, and break there. Now it could come back up, retest this. That was the zone right there, okay? So, yes, it could be a quick little rejection candle and continue to drop down. But if you want to wait for a proper retracement, you might have to wait for where? I'm going to bring it up to about 50% of that big bearish candle, somewhere in around there, okay? And then look at the 9 EMA. The 9 EMA and the 200 could be converging together where you get that golden crossover. So we just might have to wait for a pullback in there. Then the market could continue to drop, right? Unless this is holding this block and it's ready to go down. That's that shooting star. That's that scalp candle you got to consider, But if you're not considering taking that scalp candle, then you got to wait for a possible retest in there. It's just how the game goes, guys. Like, that's a beautiful shooting star candle. I love scalping those. But, I'm holding off because maybe I went in too early on that previous one. Maybe I learned my lesson. Got to maybe wait patiently for the pullback up there. Then I got confluence of the 9 and the 200 maybe meeting each other. And then more sellers are accumulating there. Might be a better opportunity to sell there. But I still can't forget about this inside bar, how it's consolidating right in here. Guys, I don't even know what the time is. What time is it? It's 10:06. Okay, we'll stay another 5 more minutes. I could trade with you guys all day. I'm wearing a diaper. I could piss myself in my pants. I don't even care right now. I'll show you one day when you guys see my Depends diaper. See, and if you are buying pullbacks, on NASDAQ, you are in profit a little bit, but got to be kind of careful with everything. Okay, look at this little spin top doji candle. Like, this candle's pissing me off. I was just staying inside here, like they're accumulating it and possibly going to drop it, waiting for that patient pullback. Might not get it. Yeah, they're going to flush it, but these little candles, you're waiting for that, and then this little one is building, and then they just smash it down. Oh, man, I think I'm missing out on a good trade here. Fuck. That was that clean retest. Yeah, guys. So, but just for learning purposes, you saw that green zone that I figured out there? How I stretched it across. You see how that 5-minute body closed below? Look at what it retested. It flipped that zone, and now there's that drop. Carlos, I'm pissed, bro. That one right there. Oh, that was such a clean retest. That with no wick. Those are those bodies I look for. Fuck. That's the nice 40 pip candle. Shit. Welcome to the world of scalping. Okay, but if you're still waiting for that pullback, what I'm going to do for later today is place an alert inside here, because if it does retrace there, 44,340, I want to be alerted because I maybe want to sell that point right there. So I got an alert. If it comes up to me 30 minutes from now, 1 hour from now, I've got a zone located, I've got an alert, maybe I could sell that. It just, guys, think about it. As this is moving down, this zone is getting more offers. It's getting more and more and more and more offers. It's building. Like, if you look at your book map or your depth of market, if you've got NinjaTrader, if you've got any one of those platforms, you'll see a heavy heat map of sellers in that block right there. So over time, it's getting stronger and stronger and stronger. As the price diverges away from this area, that block is getting strong. This block is getting strong. The highest point of the day is getting really strong. But guys, if you go back and you kind of review this, they swept the high of the day, and there's the M pattern, that bar closed below. I sold on that one. I went too fast to a break even. That blue candle took me out. Oh man, looking back out of this, shit, my mistake, guys. I got to learn from that. Maybe tomorrow on Wall Street, I'm not going to go down to a break even that fast. Maybe I'll give it some room to breathe. Because intentions to sell were correct. Even on this candle, I missed out. Shit. Oh, man. I'm getting old. I'm getting lazy at this. Man, that was such a clean candle. Yellow to yellow fill. Fuck, 70 pips. Shit. Okay, remember, that's the low of the day. Remember how bullish today's daily candle was? Look how easily Wall Street can negate everything, okay? And it was right there, sweeping the high and dumping it. Double top, liquidity grab, put the pieces of the puzzle together, and there's the breakdown. Sorry, guys, I trade a little bit larger lot sizing, so I really have to protect my capital, because 30, 40, 50 pip reversal could really affect me. So, but if you go a little bit smaller and you're learning, leave some breathing room. Trust me, while you're learning, leave some breathing room. And then you could probably have held that entire move and learned from it also. NASDAQ also a little bit choppier, a little bit uglier. I'm being brutally honest with these. Some days when NASDAQ is trading better, I'll say NASDAQ is much better. Today, NASDAQ is a little bit, got a lot of indecision, tougher to trade, tougher to read, but still swept the high of the day, coming back down. Watch this level. If it breaks, right here, similar to what US30 broke that level there. It could break and drop down. That's your big zone I would be paying attention to later today if it gets down there. To me, US30 was trading much cleaner. Like, look at it, how clean it looks. You can visually see everything that they did today. The way they engineered Wall Street market open, move up, swept the high, came back down, closed below. That retest was the proper retest right in that point of control and then dropping down. Okay, guys, that's it for me. Great day today in the markets. Hopefully you guys learned something. Tomorrow we'll be back Friday morning, 7 a.m. Again, same setup. We'll be doing gold with DXY. We'll watch that into COMEX. We'll see if there's any red folders tomorrow morning. And then we walk into Wall Street with NASDAQ and US30. Hopefully we learned something new today. This is a good pattern to recognize. Take a snapshot of this. You might see this on multiple Wall Streets, okay? What did they do? They drove it up to the highest point of the day. And then it pulled back. There's the support. It came back up. There's Wall Street. 9:30 open, swept the high, right? Liquidity grab. You guys are learning what that is. And then what was the response? Came back down, bearish engulfing, pushed down. That body of that candle right there at 9:45 closed below structure. I went in a little. I went in. I got in the sell, but I removed my stop loss. Remember, my stop was just above this candle. And then when it was going down, I brought it down to break even. That candle right there at 9:55, right before 10 a.m., motherfuckers got me. And then the 10 a.m. switch. So, fuck. And now it's bleeding out. Oh, shit. The lowest point of the day. Oh, I got to go for a smoke. I don't want to get pissed off on here, but I am pissed off. So I'm going for a walk because I don't want to do anything reckless, guys. I'm sorry, but I'm pissed about that. Fuck, my mistake there. Oh, just pissed away a couple pips there. But guys, we'll do this again tomorrow. This is live analysis. Shit happens. What can you do? Look at the daily candle flip into a bearish pin bar, possibly a shooting star. If you're looking to buy a pullback, right in here, that was the last big drop you can see on the 5 minutes was Wednesday at 10:30. I would mark that. Just add a marker on your chart right there, and it's right above that daily yellow position. That could be a big double bottom, like coming down. That was one bottom that drove us up to the highest point of the day. It's coming all the way back down. Could be a big double bottom. If you guys are in sells on that and you're trailing it, please don't be scared to take some profit out of the market, because what goes down could easily come right back up, But guys, I'll see you guys. Have a smoke for me too. And we'll see you guys tomorrow. Have a great day, everyone. God bless everyone. We'll see you guys tomorrow. Let's have some fun. Thank you guys for the like, subscribe, hit the notifications in case YouTube shuts us down. We'll get it back on. Okay. Have a great day and enjoy the rest of your day. And we'll see you guys. Have a good day, everyone. Man, that was a tough pill for me to swallow. Good call. See you guys, everyone. Have a good day. Dale, Samuel, have a good day. Sonia, have a great day. See you guys tomorrow. Enjoy the rest of your day. Things like this happen, but that's why it's time for me to walk away. I can't continue to watch this. See you guys.
Hey guys, good morning, welcome to the live session of Stocks Number Trading. My name is Dave, guys, my partner is Ron. Let's get down to business here, guys.
In on US30, sell, okay? I'm jumping in. Guys, that's a 100 pip drop. Yes, we caught it. Hey, guys, 200 pips, please, secure.